just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
The Bucks are taking the playoffs back home.
My mindset right now is game 3. I know what I got to do.
To turn things around against the Pacers.
Giannis the other way. Gallops down the lane and plunges it through with a right-hand jam. There was nothing in between him and the rim.
Our Game 3 coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot-Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, April 25th, our top story. More than 100,000 flocked to Green Bay.
I'm Erik Bilstad, back to class in this MPS school.
I'm Debbie Laziga, and we've got a crash on the ramp from Beecher Street to southbound 4394 to start things off. That ramp is closed right now, or at least most of the lanes are. We've got emergency crews on the scene. A couple of cars off the roadway onto the grass, so careful with that. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Showers are likely, mostly cloudy and breezy. High 50 at the lake, 55 if you're away from Lake Michigan. Decreasing clouds tonight and a breezy low of 39. Right now, Milwaukee at 44. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center in Green Bay.
Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
NFL Draft kicking off Thursday night from the grounds around Lambeau Field. Packers legend Clay Matthews helped start the festivities with a simple message he claimed was from President Trump.
My fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
Okay.
Attendance at night 1 of the draft reached levels that required some crowd control. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
That's right, Eric. The NFL officially sharing very late Thursday that attendance for round 1 of the NFL draft sitting at 205,000 fans. Now, for context, that's nearly double the official census population count of Green Bay, which sat at 107,395 in 2020. So many people filled into the draft stage area, the entrance had to be halted Thursday evening, and overflow seating was set up in the bowl of Lambeau Field. For comparison, night 1 in Detroit at last year's draft hosted around 275,000 fans.
I'm Julia Fellow in Green Bay. It may have felt like a zoo here for the first day of the NFL Draft.
Chicken tenders, chicken wings, NFL Draft, come eat!
But that is proving it will be a huge economic shot in the arm. Estimates from the Greater Green Bay Chamber shows our state will likely see $100 million in economic impact. Of that, $20 million will benefit all of Brown County. And there is not even a number on the benefit of millions of eyes seeing beauty shots of Lambeau Field while watching the draft from home.
Packers did select, by the way, Matthew Golden out of Texas, a wide receiver. First time in more than 2 decades we picked a wide receiver in the first round, making fans there happy. The Packers and Green Bay now gearing up for day 2 of the draft. WTMJ's John Mercure in Titletown.
I am in our former yard. We used to live up here for 3 years. In our yard, those years, we could get about 50 cars. We charged $20 a car. Now, where I park today, oh my gosh, over $100 a car. Do the math on that. The vibe is cool. People are paying for the parking. Everybody's kind of an entrepreneur. I just walked past a girl who's selling lemonade, another one selling bracelets on the corner. The folks are here. It's big time. The vibe is festive, and it's a whole lot of fun. Wow, this is pretty cool. In Green Bay, John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Governor Evers addressing for the first time since the state Supreme Court affirmed a controversial veto that leaves an increase in K-12 school funding in effect for the next 400 years. WTMJ's John Mercure, as you heard there, caught up with the governor.
The criticism you're getting over the veto. How do you respond to people who say that's too much in Wisconsin, it shouldn't be like that?
Yeah, when you look at that and you look at what a small difference it makes in the whole budget, I have no regrets.
Evers has said his partial veto was intended to give school districts funding increases in perpetuity.
In federal courthouses across the country, the Trump administration now facing a series of legal setbacks.
On issues ranging from education policy and voting rights to congestion pricing, the series of rulings and developments mark the latest legal setbacks for an administration battling nearly 200 lawsuits in court. Judges blocked Trump from freezing federal funding to schools with DEI initiatives, cutting off federal funding to sanctuary cities, and implementing an executive order to require proof of citizenship to vote. The Trump administration can ask an appeals court to reverse the rulings. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
MPS prepares to welcome students and staff back this morning. After being closed for weeks due to unsafe lead dust levels, one school is opening the doors.
Fernwood Montessori reopens today after the Milwaukee Health Department approved the school safety standards on Tuesday night. Fernwood, along with Starnes Early Childhood Center and La Follette School, have been closed for weeks due to elevated amounts of lead dust. Milwaukee Health Department officials say Starnes is more than 50% of the way through with its cleanup and hopes to open by the end of the month, while La Follette School will still undergo remediation for 4 to 6 weeks. Both MPS and MHD say they're close to presenting their lead action plan to the district. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Coming up, heads of state head to the Vatican. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more for your fish fry. The Mine Chef fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. You deserve it. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked aside from the dining area while you finish up, maybe have an after-dinner drink. I repeat, hard to believe, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. The Mine Chef in beautiful downtown Hartford. And near the EAA in Oshkosh, tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday, $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. I love that fish fry. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineChefRestaurant.com.
Okay, who's ready to fish? Fleet Farm's all stocked and ready to go with the hottest brands to help you gear up for the season. Like the latest lines and lures from Berkley, Fluger rods and reels, Northland tackle, bobbers, and bait, all sorts of Senko worms, the best in fish finders from Humminbird, Lowrance, and Garmin, St. Croix rods, new releases from Abu Garcia, and more. Stop in and check out the latest fishing gear from all your favorite brands at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Pam.
Good friends of ours moved there, and they had invited us over for dinner a number of times. And they said, we waited way too long. You should come when you're younger. They had no idea it was going to be this great. There are just so many things to do, and it keeps you young. I mean, we have a lot of residents who are pushing 100. I believe they're there and still alive because of Three Pillars.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Feeling thrifty? Wisconsin State Fair's got you covered. It's the last week for $14 admission tickets. Plus, discounted cream puffs sweeten the deal. With a sale this good, you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair. Presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st to August 10th.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:08.
Meet the Packers' first-round pick. We've got it in sports at 6:15.
Wisconsin Historical Society is breaking ground on a new museum in the Madison Capitol Square. The History Center will feature permanent and traveling exhibitions and educational opportunities. Construction expected to be completed in 2027.
Today, the final day for the public to pay respects to Pope Francis before his funeral tomorrow morning at the Vatican. CBS News' Tina Kraus with more.
The devoted descended on St. Peter's Square for a third and final day to see Pope Francis one last time as he lies in state. Tens of thousands, including the Pope's relatives, have come to pay their respects so far. Vatican officials kept the basilica open past midnight again Thursday to accommodate the crowds.
It's a very emotional moment for me.
Around the world, the faithful also gather for Mass to pray for the pontiff.
Later today, President Trump and the First Lady expected to depart Washington, headed to Rome for the funeral. Sources familiar with CBS News said the former President Joe Biden is also planning to attend.
So the funeral, local time around, 3 a.m. tomorrow.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:09.
Explore outdoor living this Saturday from Erik Brown, the president of Outdoor Living Unlimited. He knows his stuff. They expand your living space with decks, patios, fire pits, even outdoor kitchens, and can show you a virtual reality of it all for starters. Outdoor Living Unlimited did a great job at the Matzik household. We love it. So listen and call Erik this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show and check out OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like a free Wild Bite fishing kit when you spend $50 on fishing gear. Save $30 on all Curt towing hitches, and all Blazer trailer lighting is 25% off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Steel walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel. Let's go mow.
Checking in at 7:10 with Debbie Loziga.
All right, they're still working on this accident on the ramp from Beecher Street to southbound 4394. Watch out for that. Emergency crews on the scene. A couple of the cars are off the roadway onto the grass. It looks like we've got a squad, a fire truck, and an ambulance. So just keep your eyes open for that as you're heading through there. Also, a crash on Highway 100 northbound right about at Howard Avenue. That one has the left lane blocked on Highway 100. So heads up with it. We've got also the rest of the area looking good. Everything's clear. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Scattered showers are possible for today. Cloudy skies and breezy winds out the northeast. High temperatures along the lake near 50, inland spots reaching into the mid-50s. Tonight, decreasing clouds, still a bit breezy, low temperatures in the upper 30s. Heading into Saturday, a few clouds early, then mostly sunny. High temperatures 50 lakeside, upper 50s inland. Sunday, inland spots climb to the 60s, lakeside areas in the mid-50s with partly cloudy skies. Monday, we'll see the chance for some scattered showers and storms, partly cloudy and warm, high across the area. Tuesday, the chance for some morning rain showers and storms, breezy, a high temperature near 70, falling later in the day. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
At 42 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
6:12 on this Friday morning, Wisconsin's Morning News. An absolute sea of humanity at Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
Look at all of these people expecting $250,000 over the weekend here in Green Bay.
NFL Network, as the boom camera panned the crowd, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell opened the event by saying people said Green Bay was too small. With a population of 107,000, but we have over 125,000 people here and still counting.
So what did we end up with?
They counted up to 205,000. That, according to the NFL, debated if you like. I don't know how they figured that out.
So could you argue they were too small?
So for a while, Erik, yes, Green Bay was too small. The NFL suspended entry into that draft zone proper right around the start of the event. Message boards declaring it was at capacity. These fans talking with Fox 11 News in Green Bay.
Well, we were really excited to get in there, but it's unfortunate that there's so many people that it's blocked off right now. It's rough. We got a lot of people coming from out of town, and unfortunately we were not able to get too close. We can see it a little bit here, but not very much of it. Really wanted to see a player walk out.
I didn't know that they're going to be blocking off like the barrier here. Otherwise, I probably just would have gotten my seat earlier and just would have stayed inside, but it's okay.
Now, they later did open the gates once again. Just heard from a friend of mine who was up there as well. He said, want to talk to a fan who didn't get in?
Oh,
I'm like, well, I heard they opened it later. He's like, we watched at a bar. Still had a blast, but not what they were expecting.
That's too bad.
Commissioner opened the event, joined by some former Packers greats and rapper and Green Bay superfan Lil Wayne, if you need him. He finds his way to be
always around.
Awkwardly riding bikes onto the stage, a nod to the Packers training camp tradition.
It'd been great if they were tiny little BMX bikes.
They should have been like the little kid bikes. That was the first mistake of the night, honestly.
You didn't like it?
I don't know, it just looked awkward. The second was giving former Packers Clay Matthews the mic, who made the crowd a little bit nervous by suggesting he'd just spoken to President Trump, who had asked him to deliver a message.
It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
I think there's a lot of debate about this. I didn't like it.
Really? That bothered you?
This was our moment. This was the Green Bay moment. And the first thing, there's room for the Bears still suck.
Sure, of course.
Over the course of the weekend. Did you want that to be the opening salvo?
The first thing you do is complain about Big Brother down south?
Yes. That's what it felt like to me. But
Okay.
I think a lot of fans liked it.
It must have been a bet. You think he was put up to that, like, hey, I'll give you $1,000
and
you go
was
up there.
it planned or no? They played it off like it wasn't planned, but is anything not planned?
Well, good point.
Or choreographed? Packers
Right.
president and CEO Mark Murphy, the driving force behind getting this event in Green Bay. He had the honor, of course, of announcing that first pick.
For the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Listen to this crowd.
Oh, baby.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas. And he's here.
Crowd went nuts, seemed to like it. Got much more on that selection of Matthew Golden coming up in sports next.
Your Republican Representative Tyler August wants to unconstitutionally raise your utility bills after President Trump promised Wisconsin ratepayers he would cut energy bills in half. Trump's DOJ has already weighed in on ROFR legislation in other states and called out the significant harm it would cause consumers if passed. Call Representative Tyler August at 608-237-9131 and tell him to stand with President Trump and the Constitution by voting no on ROFR. Paid for by the Electricity Transmission Competition Coalition.
They're coming back, flying around, and they want to ruin your summer. Vince Vitrano here for the Bugman and Queen Bee, your best in local pest defense. And the Bugman, Adam, over there, offers the Stinging Insects Nest Prevention Service. Keeps the wasps and hornets from building the home inside or outside your house. And if they do, you've got a 1-year guarantee. The Bugman will be right back out to take care of it at no additional charge. Mosquito, flea, and tick treatment also available for the yard and all your plants. And Adam tells me last year was a bad one for ticks. Ticks, of course, can carry Lyme disease. You want to get that taken care of. Let's stop the problem before it starts with this local family, veteran-owned and operated company based right here in West Allis. 20% off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. Bugman, queenbee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Packers president Mark Murphy making the announcement late Thursday night. Golden played last season for the Texas Longhorns, 58 passes, 987 yards, 9 touchdowns. It was a pretty cool moment. You got chills when he came out there to that crowd. Fireworks going on. Pretty neat to see him come out there. He had been in the back in the green room with his family for several hours waiting for that big moment, and then it came.
Matthew Golden spent time in Green Bay on a pre-draft visit 2 weeks ago, and upon arrival in Green Bay this week, ended up face-to-face with Packers GM Brian Gutekunst.
I knew once I shook his hands, something just told me, they finna come get me.
The University of Texas Junior feels like Green Bay is the perfect landing spot.
Definitely a great organization. And like I said, man, I'm so happy to be here and just get ready to go to work.
Gutekunst agrees.
Obviously, he's a very gifted athlete, gifted football player, but he's also just wired exactly how we want it.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Green and golden. ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel.
See what you did there.
Was part of the coverage on WTMJ and ESPN Wisconsin on Thursday night. He says Golden, what works with this receiver, with this guy, is that he can play any receiver position.
Coaches trust him to play every wide receiver position in the playbook. I don't necessarily expect that right away. But the fact that his college coaches trusted him with that tells me that eventually the Packers are going to be able to trust him to do that. And when you have somebody who can move around the field, that just becomes a chess piece and an ultimate weapon.
Gabe will join us from Green Bay at 6:50. I'm sure he's going to say that. Like, that's the best part. When you don't have them pigeonholed, you can use these guys in so many different places. And you know how LaFleur gets with writing up these plays. So,
well, and how dinged up our wide receiver corps seems to get every year. Like, okay, this guy here, that guy there.
All right, we're done.
You're in the slot now.
Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft are tonight in Green Bay. The Packers have a pick in each of those rounds. Big night tonight in Milwaukee, by the way. It's not just Green Bay having the fun. Game 3 of the Bucks-Pacers first-round series is tonight. Bucks need a win. They're down in the series 2-0. Now, heads up. The Bucks are wearing green uniforms tonight, so the team is asking fans to wear green as well.
The team will be wearing green on Friday. We want fans, everybody coming to the game, to be wearing green, and then on Sunday for that late 8:30 game on Sunday night, everybody in black.
Yeah, so black on Sunday, green tonight. That's Chief Marketing Officer Dustin Godsey. He was on Midday News.
Everybody got their costumes ready?
Yeah, so
right? Okay, I'm sorry, green tonight, black on Sunday.
Green tonight. 7 p.m. tip at Fiserv Forum. Our coverage starts at 6 on WTMJ Radio with Buck Shooter-on. The Brewers are in St. Louis looking to rebound from a tough series against the Giants. They kind of gave that game away yesterday afternoon.
Just spent the final innings just leaking away a nice lead.
Yelich did drop a ball that led to the Giants scoring the winning run. However, there's some who would say, look, even if he caught it, they would have scored it on a sac fly. But anyway, Brewers and Cardinals, you can hear that game on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee tonight because, of course, the Bucks right here on WTMJ.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Wisconsin Coating Professionals and Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Here's a not-so-fun fact. Recent studies showed that only 40% of managers have annual check-ins with their direct reports, which is not good. We talk about it a lot on the show. Today's younger workers are telling us they crave development and growth. LAK Group has a new tool that can help you with that. It's called Coaching on Demand. It's a cutting-edge platform that connects leaders and professionals with certified coaches, and even seamlessly integrates AI into their development journeys. It's all on their schedule. Learn more at Transforming Careers. That's transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
The very front of the Brewers front office is on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I think it's something sort of our brand of baseball. You know, we're going to play you tough and play hard night in and night out, and we're here and we're going to fight you all 9 innings.
Brewers GM and Senior Vice President Matt Arnold is our Brewers 360 guest every Thursday morning at 8:45.
How soon do I start asking you about trades and stuff, Matt?
My phone's always on, so no.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Checking in with Debbie at 6:22.
Okay, the ramp from Beecher Street to southbound 4394 is still closed because of a crash, but looks like most, if not all, of the cars have been taken away, so hopefully they'll be reopening it any minute now. We've also got this other crash. It's on northbound Highway 100 at Howard Avenue. The left lane of northbound Highway 100 is blocked right now with this crash, so heads up with that. And then just a few delays northbound 41 right past the North Avenue curve, and then again just north of Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. For today, rain is likely. Mostly cloudy, otherwise breezy. A high of 55 inland. Tonight, less clouds, breezy, a low of 39. Saturday, a few clouds, then sunny tomorrow, high of 57. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 63. Look at this. The high on Monday, there is a chance for some showers, but the high on Monday is 78 inland. Right now, 42 at 6:23.
Too hot. Too hot.
Stop it.
You know you're going to hear it. Why is this too hot today?
The air conditioner's running.
Please, bring it. Construction season definitely cranking up. For a while, it was just the orange barrels emerging like spring daffodils. They start to kind of prop up. You see them, but they're not quite blocking anything off yet.
They're just prepping it.
Yeah, you see it's
Feral
coming.
guy is just on the ready.
Yes, we're starting to see delays on the daily now through several work zones, 894, 43 north of the Marquette, 4145 on the northwest side. This week, the DOT is turning a spotlight onto safety through those areas. It's National Work Zone Awareness Week. Here's Debbie.
There's no such thing as construction season. There, I've said it. You only need to drive along I-43 or I-894 west of the Mitchell interchange to experience the latest batch of work zones in our area. Work zones and highway workers are integral to upgrading and maintaining our transportation system, but it can be dangerous. National Work Zone Awareness Week is an annual reminder that work zone safety continues to be a relevant issue. Statewide Work Zone Operations Engineer for the DOT, Aaron Schwark.
On average, we have about 300 state highway and bridge improvement projects. So those can include, our local projects, municipality projects.
All of them with their own unique work zone configuration. So folks driving through them need to be on their game, paying attention. Luckily, there's a little help.
We have signs on the side of the road alerting motorists. We have drums on the side of the road to try to separate traffic from that work zone. We have
I'm sorry, Debbie. I jumped out of that piece there. Debbie was talking about the.
I wish I could fill in. I've got a.
What we were talking about is work. What is it? Workplace work zone awareness safety week.
Safety. Yep.
Various celebrations underway.
Yeah, they were. Today they are going to have a moment of silence, kind of like what they did last year as well. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, that's going to be one of those things where, we don't really think about it really until we're like in it. And then you see some Yahoo zip past you and you're like, brilliant. Okay. All right, brain trust. Let's see how you get out of this one. But yeah, and just as a reminder, fines are doubled in work zones. So.
I do find helpful some of the steps that they take, like those radar signs that when gives you a warning, your speed is whatever, and then it forces you to look up and readdress what the speed limit is through this zone. And sometimes you zip on in there because it was 70 and now it's dropped down to 55. And whoa! Right?
Yeah. Hey, do you check to see if your speedometer is correct based on what those radar things say?
Oh, it never occurred to me that it wouldn't be correct. Is that a thing?
No, I always just look to see how far off I am.
I'm with you, Deb.
Not. So it's like dee.
It's not always the same.
It's not?
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, sometimes it's like you're off maybe like 1 or 2 miles per hour or something like that.
Well, that could be the difference between whether a cop bothers to pull you over or not, right? If you reach that threshold.
Yeah, so you just got to be careful with that. So, yeah, just everybody be careful because, I mean, this is really going to start to ramp up a lot. And we've got 2 major zones right now. We've got 41 and then we've got 43 that's continuing. And not to mention the fact that we still have the wrap up of 894 west of the Mitchells. So that's still going on.
Plenty to talk about in that department through the summer. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up nearly 500 points, about 1.25% to 40,093. The NASDAQ at 17,166. That was up more than 450 points. And the S&P 500 at 5485. That was up over 2%. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
This wasn't how Patrick here in Milwaukee pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Hi, I'm Rose Gray with Fox World Travel, and I'm excited to share that our exclusive guided Alaska land and sea journeys are now available for 2026. We partner with Holland America Line to curate the best and most sought-after experiences to Alaska. We send hundreds of travelers from Wisconsin to Alaska every year, along with experienced Fox tour managers for peace of mind. Don't just picture Alaska, live it. We have limited spots, and these tours are booking fast. Visit Fox World Travel online or call 866 Go Fox Go.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they do it every day with compassion and with empathy. They've got locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I've been to the locations. I love how they treat the people who live there. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They offer early memory loss classes. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Kindness at the core. It's Azura Living. Check them out at azuraliving.com. It's Azura.
At 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Friday, April 25th. Our top story, a warm welcome for the newest Green Bay Packer.
I'm Erik Bilstad, learning what's in the water.
I'm Debbie Loziga, looking pretty good with the exception of Highway 100 northbound at Howard Avenue where we have a crash with the left lane blocked. So just keep that in mind. The rest of the system's looking great. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Showers likely today, some of them about to move into southeast Wisconsin. Mostly cloudy skies, high of 50 at the lake, 55 inland, low down to 39 tonight.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. President Trump was asked Thursday about Russia's concessions towards Ukraine. He said that Russia not taking over all of Ukraine was a pretty big concession as his administration tries to bring an end to the fighting, says ABC's Rachel Scott.
The president's special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, is back in Russia. We are told he will be meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. But again, this comes as Russia continues their aggression and their attacks against Ukraine.
Russia carried out more overnight strikes on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. More than 120,000 people filed past Pope Francis in St. Peter's Basilica ahead of his funeral tomorrow that the mayor of Rome says is expected to attract more than 200,000 people. Luigi Mangione due in court today for an arraignment in last year's killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City. Mangione expected to plead not guilty. Federal prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty if he's convicted. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Titletown gearing up for day 2 of the NFL Draft today. WTMJ's John Mercure in Green Bay.
Wow, is this incredible. I lived up here for 3 years. Never was there a weekend like this in April with the grills fired up, the beer is flowing. The parking is at a premium, but people are beginning to fill up the lots, even spaces that go for $150. You know what's cool is there are Lions fans, Vikings fans, Bears fans, all wearing their gear. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's going to win on this day at the NFL Draft in Green Bay. Boy, does that smell good. I think those are brats. John Mercure, WTMJ News.
A lot of brats must have been consumed. The NFL reporting the official attendance number at 205,000 for that opening night.
The Packers using pick number 23 to select a wide receiver in the first round. It's the first time the organization has done that since 2002. Matthew Golden from Texas. An amazing moment when he came out on the stage. The crowd went crazy. Says he can't wait to play for Green Bay. Much more on Golden coming up at 6:45.
Lots of folks, as we mentioned, in Green Bay.
Green Bay Packers! Green Bay Packers!
That's the ladies with the green and golden girls who are stopped every few steps to take pictures with Packers fans. Nearby, I met the official Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders who say it's surreal to be this excited to enjoy Green Bay.
To see Titletown, I've always heard amazing things about Lambeau Field, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's very different. A time for those showing up for their teams to become fans of our state and come back again. In Green Bay, Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
An MPS school reopens today after being shut down for weeks because of lead dust. Fernwood Montessori reopens after the Milwaukee Health Department approved the school's safety standards earlier this week.
Milwaukee gets a passing grade for its water quality, but low grades for water infrastructure. The city's annual water quality report showing compliance with federal and state guidelines for lead and copper levels. 2 test sites in the Uptown and River West neighborhoods did show levels above EPA action limits. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's water infrastructure got the grade of a D. Wisconsin Waterworks Excellence Project notes there were over 21 water main and service breaks per 100 miles in 2024, costing nearly 370,000 gallons in lost water.
Another second international student from UW-Madison has been granted a temporary stay after having her student visa revoked. Yu Yang's from China. She's 21 years old. She's suing the Department of Homeland Security over losing her visa. Her visa was revoked over a speeding ticket. She pled no contest to that. Yang suing because she was not given the right to due process. Her hearing is set for May 14th. That's just a couple of days after she's supposed to graduate.
Milwaukee Film Festival is underway. 224 films expected to be screened. Milwaukee Film Program Coordinator Abby Easterline telling WTMJ's What's on Tap how the festival chooses the films.
We accept submissions from anyone all over the world. We also often travel to film festivals, so different places like Sundance and TIFF to see what they're playing, watch films there. And then we also reach out to filmmakers or distributors and say, like, hey, do you have movies you'd like us to check out? And often they do.
Film Festival this year runs through May 8th.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:35.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, selfies at the Vatican or no?
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
James Imaging Systems, local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything, so I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizan, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with the group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters for your home or your business. They came out and did the exterior of our house. The team walked around the entire house with me, pointed out a couple spots that I needed some extra work done. I didn't even realize it. The teams at CertaPro, they've got your back. Call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. It's CertaPro Painters, the best in the business. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's CertaPro Painters. Took care of me, they'll take care of you. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst tells us why he did something that hadn't been done in 2 decades. That's in sports at 6:45.
Vatican preparing to close Pope Francis's casket today. This as tens of thousands of mourners are continuing to wait for their chance to say goodbye in St. Peter's Basilica. Of course, the funeral is tomorrow. ABC's Inez de la Catera is there.
More than 200,000 people are expected to attend tomorrow's funeral.
Right, so tons of people, but many still need to see him for the first time.
By last night, more than 90,000 mourners had filed through St. Peter's Basilica to pay their respects.
Just think it's incredible to be here and to experience it with them.
The outpouring of grief has been immense, but not without controversy. Some in the crowd have been taking selfies with the Pope's body, sparking outrage.
Yeah, so some have been taking selfies once they wait through the line. So in the background, you see the casket and, of course, the remains of the pontiff. And there's some folks upset about it. Some of them, they look somber. Others, the person taking the picture is smiling. Is that too much? Is
There's
that
an
too
acknowledgement
far?
of the world in which we live today to an extent. However, it's called paying your respects. And I think if you take a step back for just a second,
yeah,
right, that is not respectful.
Yeah, I'd say you're right in that.
Would you
Although
do that at your cousin's funeral, at your mother's funeral?
But some people do. Like, we live in a different world now where everything is documented, and it's only more documented when you're in the photo, too. Again, I'm not defending it, but I do see how that generation kind of works.
6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Buy one pair of glasses from Shopco Optical. Each additional pair is always half off. Vince Vitrano for Shopco Optical, where I'm enjoying my new glasses. One pair for reading, another I keep in the car just to see better for driving at night. You can save hundreds of dollars with special offers on contact lenses if that's more your style. And my favorite part is it's all under one roof. You've got the doctors there who provide the comprehensive eye exams and personalized care because your vision changes over time. And they see those changes and make sure your eyes are always in focus. See how much time and money you can save by visiting Shopco Optical. Dozens of locations across southeast Wisconsin. There's one near your home or work. Call Shopco Optical or get started online at shopco.com.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Big groups save big at Wisconsin State Fair. Take advantage of discounted group tickets for parties of 25 or more at wistatefair.com. Hurry, deals end April 27th.
Traffic is sponsored by Wisconsin State Fair. Big groups save big at Wisconsin State Fair. Deals end April 27th. Debbie.
All right, no more accidents out on the road right now. We do have some delays, though, from Watertown Plank Road up past North Avenue on 41. Everything else is looking pretty good right now, not seeing really any other issues. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Showers likely today in your Storm Team forecast under mostly cloudy skies. High 50 at the lake, 55 degrees inland. Right now at 42. President Trump due to leave for Rome today as he's among the world leaders attending the funeral for Pope Francis.
Happening today.
Funeral is tomorrow. Some side business also possible on trade and the war in Ukraine for the president following a deadly Russian missile attack this week.
I wasn't happy with it, and we're in the midst of talking peace, and missiles were fired, and I was not happy with it.
President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky also expected to attend the funeral for the Pope, bringing in ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers live at the White House this morning. Hey, Karen.
Hey, good morning to you.
So the president, as you certainly heard, growing publicly frustrated now with these stalled peace negotiations.
Yeah, the president, not just the stalled peace negotiations, but also like the incredibly aggressive attack by Russia the other day, targeting Kyiv in one of the deadliest attacks on that city in months. The president on social media yesterday said, "Vladimir, stop." And he was asked about that social media post yesterday in the Oval Office, and he told reporters, "I didn't like last night," referring to the Russian attacks. He said, "I wasn't happy with it. We're in the midst of talking peace, and missiles were fired. I was not happy with it." Those were some of the strongest words we've heard publicly from the president about Vladimir Putin in some time. But he was also asked about a deadline for reaching an agreement, and he would only say he wants it fast. And he has a deadline, his own deadline, but he wouldn't get into details about what that looks like and what leverage, essentially, he would have over Putin right now, what he would threaten him with if that deadline comes and goes.
And the president leaves today for the Vatican, is that right?
Yeah, he's leaving within the hour with the First Lady to travel to Rome. So they'll be flying for most of the day. They're getting to Rome pretty late at night, Rome time. The funeral is early tomorrow morning, of course. But the president had told reporters yesterday he'd like to have meetings with some world leaders there, just like couple dozen dignitaries, foreign leaders who are going to be in Rome for the funeral. There's no official schedule yet for the president, but I think it sounds more like it would be side conversations as opposed to a formal schedule.
And some of those we would expect, Karen, would be on the ongoing tariff negotiations with various other countries. Also curious what you're hearing about the back and forth with China. The president has said, no, we're negotiating with China. That seems to be news to China.
China, again, today, for the second day in a row, has pushed back publicly, on the record, officially, saying that there are no consultations or negotiations on trade or the tariffs. The statement today was the United States should not confuse the public. Yesterday, they said it was fake news that there were active negotiations. And the president was asked about this yesterday, to explain why China is saying that, and he is saying something else. And the president said they had a meeting this morning. And a reporter interrupted him and said, well, who is they? And he said, it doesn't matter who they is. We may reveal it later, but they had meetings this morning, meeting the U.S. and China. He never revealed the information. We asked the White House multiple times and did not get clarity.
And all these back and forths can move the markets too, Karen, as we've seen.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'm at the point where let me know when you got a deal
to happen. Yeah, the president wants the markets to think that there's optimism, that they're getting closer to some sort of de-escalation with China. But China is very willing publicly to play hardball on this.
Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent, live with us from Washington. Thanks, Karen.
Have a great day.
Sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So much buzz about the draft, but no draft seeping through your Pella Windows and Doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick. Right now, here's the deal. No interest financing options or free glass upgrades as long as you order by April 30th. Here's how you make a statement in your home. You add Pella's architectural designs inside and out. Maximum flexibility on that because you're working with talented designers and installers who can match your unique home decor or help you do something different. Dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, and product types. All durable with these distinguished details. Pella products stand the test of time. They confidently offer the best wood warranty in the industry. And here's the deal right now. No interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions do apply. The deal ends at the end of the month, April 30th. Place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Green and golden.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas. And he's here.
The roar from thousands of Packers fans when Matthew Golden took the stage was deafening.
I wish I can go back out there right now, man. It was so cool, the energy.
The 21-year-old junior had a feeling he'd end up in Green Bay following a pre-draft visit with the Packers front office just 2 weeks ago.
I could just feel it. And, I'm so excited to be here. I'm glad the organization picked me.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Haven't picked a receiver. He's a receiver from Texas. Haven't picked a receiver since 2002, the Packers, in the first round. What a neat moment. So he comes out, there's fireworks, the place is erupted, and then he takes the mic.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
It was pretty cool. He seemed to really take the moment, right? You could tell that he was exciting, but he had control too. Does that make sense?
Yeah. He didn't run away with it.
Right. And he had like a gold suit on, which was just kind of cool because it worked out because Golden and the Packers, of course. So the Packers haven't picked a receiver in the first round since 2002. GM Brian Gutekunst, on the moment Murphy announced the pick.
I really sent in a different name, but Mark just announced what he announced. So,
Did you get a little sense of that? All right, finally took a wide receiver.
Yeah, he did. He kind of was like, for the first
time. Telling him.
No, I don't know. I didn't think about any of that until he got up there, and then you kind of saw, you saw the crowd. They're all Green Bay fans. You heard the chants and all that kind of stuff, and it was just really cool. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think anything like that. We were watching the board. We had a couple players we were discussing. There were trade opportunities, things like that. So you're going through all that and just trying to do what's right for the Packers.
Yeah, so that's what they did, and they're really happy with the pick, he says. Rounds 2 and 3 are tonight. The Packers have one pick in the second, one pick in the third.
I had heard that Golden happened to be the best player available at that position. I don't know if that's right.
So, of course, big weekend. The rest of the rounds are tomorrow after the rounds 2 and 3 tonight in Green Bay. Much more, of course, on the Green Bay draft and all of that throughout the show. Big weekend in Milwaukee as well. Bucks look to get on the board. A first-round playoff series against the Pacers. They're down 2-0 in this series, and the next 2 games are at Fiserv starting tonight. So the team asking everyone to wear green tonight. 7 o'clock tip. Our coverage starts at 6 right here on WTMJ. Fans are asked to wear green. So that game on WTMJ, the Brewers are in St. Louis looking to rebound after a tough series against the Giants. Rough one on Thursday afternoon, a game they should have won. So it's Brewers and Cardinals. You can hear that game on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. You want something to smile about?
Yes.
You'll appreciate this. So this is NBC Sports, the Bay Area, right? So they have the Giants games. Craig Yoho on the mound the other day and throws one outside that just, wild pitch. There's no one on base, but hits the back. Right?
Nearly hit the mascot kind of pitch. Okay.
And you can hear it and listen to what the announcers say.
Up that one. 3-2. Just a bit outside.
There he is.
I miss Bob Uecker.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
We were all thinking it.
Appreciate that one. What does Gabe Neitzel think of the big pick? We'll ask our ESPN guru next.
Heiser Automotive Group is making it rain with ultimate savings. It's our April shower splash sale, and we're washing away high prices so you can drive off in the car of your dreams at an unbeatable price. Enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound experience where peace of mind comes standard, rain or shine. Plus, check out our seasonal service specials to keep your vehicle ready for every spring adventure. Hurry, these savings won't last long. Visit Heiser.com today and drive away with a deal that'll have you singing in the rain.
Dealer for complete details.
70 years ago, the Blaine brothers founded Blaine's Farm and Fleet as one of the nation's first retail stores to sell goods at a discount. And we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like AgriMaster Sweet 12% horse feed, just $12.99. And assorted Balin heavy-duty rail gates, buy one, get one half price for rewards members. Plus, we've lowered prices store-wide, so you can find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Spring is in the air, the perfect time to kickstart those home improvement dreams. Hi, Gene Miller here from my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. They're your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient upgrades. Boost your curb appeal and add real value with top brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. All customized to fit your home and your style. Wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, they've got it all. And their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom is the place to start. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
Caleb Durbin beats it out. It's an infield single in his first major league at bat.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
Maybe Caleb Durbin's the guy that is that spark plug. I love that comp, that David Eckstein comp. I mean, quite frankly, he could bench press David Eckstein. Got that upper body build. He swings hard, he pulls the ball.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:52.
All right, seeing some delays northbound 41 from about Watertown Plank Road all the way up to about North Avenue. Southbound's actually looking pretty good so far, all the way down to the zoo. East and westbound 94 pretty wide open at the moment. No other delays in the rest of the system. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast brought to you by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 55 degrees today under mostly cloudy skies with showers likely. A little bit cooler near the lake. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny on Saturday. High 50 at the lake, 57 inland. And for Sunday, partly cloudy. 63 degrees your high temp, just a bit cooler near the lake. Right now at 42.
Here's how the Packers pick sounded on WTMJ and ESPN Wisconsin's coverage. You might recognize one of the voices here, Vince. Take a listen.
For the first time since 2002,
they took Matthew Golden.
The wide receiver,
They took Golden.
Wow! There it is! Matthew Golden was picked, and it was ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel who broke the news right here. Heard on WTMJ and, of course, on ESPN Wisconsin. Gabe joins us now from Green Bay. Hey, buddy.
What's going on, boys? Good morning.
Good morning. So, initial reaction?
I mean, you guys just heard the audio. Clearly, I hated the pick. Really not a fan. Zero excitement. No, I absolutely love it. I just did not think it was going to be possible that they were going to take a wide receiver, just kind of based on, Rob Domofsky earlier in the week on Wilde and Tausch said, hey, if it's not going to be Ted McMillan, who ended up going 8 last night, that he believed that the Packers weren't going to take a wide receiver based on some of the conversations that he had. So the fact that Golden, A, was there, and B, they took him, it feels a lot of stuff for the Green Bay Packers. They have somebody that has some speed, and I think eventually he's got the athletic ability where he can be a premier pass catcher for the Packers.
Talking with Gabe Neitzel, who's at the Tundra Trio just outside Lambeau Field this morning live for us. Was there any one or several players, Gabe, that also might have made sense for Green Bay in that spot?
Yeah, so I mean, again, I think any of the wide receivers, Ted McMillan made sense, Emeka Egbuka, those are guys that they brought in on pre-draft visits. In terms of, we were looking at other, Will Johnson's still out there. He was somebody that was linked. He's a cornerback out of Michigan where, it could have made sense given the way the Jair Alexander situation has all played out for the Packers. But the way the board kind of fell, there weren't any of the pass rushers, any of the guys they were necessarily linked to, guys like Shamar Stewart, who they had interest in and brought in on visits. This is one that makes a lot of sense because, again, Brian Gutekunst is a general manager that takes those 30 visits that he gets, and he does not use them just surreptitiously. He just uses them very specifically for guys he wants to get more information on, guys he wants to see up close and personal. Like a guy like Edgerrin Cooper, who everybody loved last year, all-rookie performer on the defensive side at linebacker, he was one of those top 30 visits, and that's what Matthew Golden was. It ended up making, again, the breadcrumbs were there. I think if you wanted to follow him, that Matthew Golden could have been this pick. Should he been there at 23?
It was a really neat moment when he came out and the crowd just exploded.
Well, first of all, I did not think that anybody was going to go over the top of what Mark Murphy did. I mean, because Murph was up there having himself a time, right? Like he had 205,000 people in the palm of his hand while he was going through his soliloquy before announcing the pick. And then Matthew Golden goes up over the top, gets the crowd chanting Green Bay, grabs the microphone that only the commissioner's been using all night. I did not think that somebody was going to go up and over what Mark Murphy was in terms of the excitement. But I mean, we had the audio on ESPN Wisconsin where he had said yesterday or 2 days ago now that, kind of being around Green Bay, he felt like it was a place that could be home, and it is going to be his home for the foreseeable future.
I know you guys got to get on the air here quickly, Gabe, but I did want to ask you, you're doing that 100 holes of golf thing for the MAC Fund again. Is that next week?
Yes, that is a week from yesterday, so I'll be back out there at the MAC Fund. Really excited about it. Once again, if you want to contribute, text GOLF to 800-990-3776. And right now, for every dollar that you donate, it is going to be doubled. Thanks to our friends at Paintings for Pediatrics, who is my friend Craig, who started that charity. He was on with Greg Matzik and the Wisconsin's the Wisconsin's midday news team back on Wednesday, if you want to go back and listen to that interview. But they have generously pledged a $10,000 match that we have going on right now to help out the MAC Fund. So please text any little bit that you can help. It's going to be doubled thanks to the generous match from Paintings for Pediatrics.
What's that number in the what should we text again?
GOLF golf to 800-990-3776. And a link will be sent right to your phone. You'll be able to donate to my page. So myself, Greg Matzik, Stephen Watson, all combining our efforts this year, trying to fundraise as much as we can for the MAC Fund.
ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel live with us from Green Bay this morning.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you,
Gabe.
buddy.
Fun continues today. 2 more rounds, boys. Let's go.
Let's go. 6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris give playoff reactions on the pod. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right. Because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The Bucks are taking the playoffs back home.
My mindset right now is game 3. I know what I got to do.
To turn things around against the Pacers.
Giannis the other way. Gallops down the lane and plunges it through with a right-hand jam. There was nothing in between him and the rim.
Our Game 3 coverage starts tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot-Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
7 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, April 25th. Our top story, hundreds of thousands in Titletown.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A deadly home invasion.
I'm Debbie Loziga, looking pretty good across most of the area. Just a little bit of a backup on northbound 41 from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue. Northbound 43 is a little bit backed up from Burleigh all the way up towards Keefe. The rest of the system looking good. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, high of 55 degrees, a few degrees cooler near the lake under mostly cloudy skies. Showers likely today, decreasing clouds overnight, and a breezy low of 39, right now at 42 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center in Green Bay.
Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
NFL Draft kicked off Thursday night from Lambeau Field. A little bit of history for the Packers, as announced by President and CEO Mark Murphy.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Golden, first of 8 picks the Packers have in this 2025 draft.
And a lot of people were there for the announcement. Attendance at night 1 of the draft reached levels that required some crowd control. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
That's right, Eric. We alluded to earlier a comment made from Commissioner Roger Goodell at the start of Thursday night's festivities. Here it is.
People said that Green Bay was too small for this, with a population of 107,000. But we have over 125,000 people here and still counting.
Yes, still counting indeed. The NFL officially sharing Thursday the official attendance for round 1 of the draft, 205,000 fans. 205,000 fans, yes. So many people filling into the stage area. Entrance had to be halted, and overflow seating was set up at Lambeau Field's bowl. Also, several fans online suggesting attendance was limited after fans were not allowed in or were having their tickets scanned and were admitted late during the first round.
I'm Julia Fellow in Green Bay. It may have felt like a zoo here for the first day of the NFL Draft.
Chicken tenders, chicken wings, NFL Draft. Come eat.
But that is proving it will be a huge economic shot in the arm. Estimates from the Greater Green Bay Chamber shows our state will likely see $100 million in economic impact. Of that, $20 million will benefit all of Brown County. And there is not even a number on the benefit of millions of eyes seeing beauty shots of Lambeau Field while watching the draft from home.
Green Bay now gearing up for days 2 and 3 of the draft. WTMJ's John Mercure in Titletown.
I am in our former yard. We used to live up here for 3 years. In our yard, those years, we could get about 50 cars. We charged $20 a car. Now, where I park today, oh my gosh, over $100 a car. Do the math on that. The vibe is cool. People are paying for the parking. Everybody's kind of an entrepreneur. I just walked past a girl who's selling lemonade, another one selling bracelets on the corner. The folks are here. It's big time. The vibe is festive, and it's a whole lot of fun. Wow, this is pretty cool. In Green Bay, John Mercure, WTMJ News.
We're going to hear from the Packers' #1 draft pick, Matthew Golden, coming up in sports at 7:15.
A deadly home invasion we're following this morning. It includes a developing story. A home invasion turns deadly just north of downtown Milwaukee. This is near 8th and Galena. We're told a victim, 7 years old, was battered and killed inside a home there. A known suspect remains at large.
Final preparations underway for the funeral for Pope Francis. His service at the Vatican tomorrow with world leaders, including President Trump and Vladimir Putin. Security has become a priority. ABC's James Longman in St. Peter's Square.
With all these world leaders here, as you can imagine, security is very tight. There are anti-drone guns being deployed, fighter jets in the sky to secure the no-fly zone. I think it's fair to say that the procession out into Rome is going to complicate that slightly, given all of these ancient, narrow streets. But the thousands of people who will turn out, well, that will just underline France's status as the people's pope.
Some question this morning as to whether Putin is, in fact, planning to attend. More than 200,000 people expected at the funeral.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05. Coming up, it reopens today.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
If you haven't called Siding Unlimited for new windows, what are you waiting for? This is Erik Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I want to share with you a couple stories. Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, "I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. Loved her windows were warmer and her roof didn't leak. Also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Here's to time out on the water in Wisconsin. To living your best life while enjoying the lake life. And getting up on a wakeboard the very first try. Or not. Here's to wearing only swimsuits and wishing this perfect day would never end. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Meet the Packers' first-round draft pick in sports at 7:15.
An MPS school prepares to welcome students and staff back this morning. after being closed for weeks because of unsafe lead dust levels.
Fernwood Montessori reopens today after the Milwaukee Health Department approved the school safety standards on Tuesday night. Fernwood, along with Starnes Early Childhood Center and La Follette School, have been closed for weeks due to elevated amounts of lead dust. Milwaukee Health Department officials say Starnes is more than 50% of the way through with its cleanup and hopes to open by the end of the month, while La Follette School will still undergo remediation for 4 to 6 weeks. Both MPS and MHD say they're close to presenting their lead action plan to the district. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Told you about the wildfires burning in New Jersey. Now authorities have made an arrest.
Investigators say 19-year-old Joseph Kling started a bonfire using wooden pallets in Waretown, but left it without extinguishing the flames. The fire quickly spread into Lacey Township, where it destroyed a business and threatened hundreds of homes. Kling faces arson charges. Lacey resident Amy Zettel evacuated Tuesday night. She's back home, but
I didn't even put any of my stuff back in the house. It's like in the garage in bags, just in case.
The fire has consumed more than 15,000 acres. For now, it's not threatening any homes. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Dozens of dolphins and other sea animals have been washing ashore along Southern California beaches. A lot of concern now and confusion. News Nation's Kimberly Chang.
A harmful algal bloom along the Southern California coast has led to the illness and death of thousands of marine animals and birds, including dolphins, whales, and sea lions. Some necropsies have been done on whales, and the cause of death was confirmed to be domoic acid, a neurotoxin caused by the algae. Experts believe the toxins are eaten by fish and affect the food chain. Experts are also concerned because many sea lions were pregnant.
So the thought is that the LA wildfires may be to blame for this. The nutrients and toxins from the ash and rain runoff washing into the ocean, and then that provides fuel for that algae bloom.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:10.
Hey, it's the weekend. Take your family to the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Half your dinners are free, even on the weekend. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds, my favorite place. The Friday fish fry is all you care to eat and one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Choice steaks, delicious seafood, mouthwatering pasta. The pecan-crusted walleye is so good. All the entrees are buy one, get one free. Desserts, too. Including that chocolate cake. Buy one, get one free. De-stress with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. They've got 20 great bourbons, over 100 fine wines, and those 8 elegant dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Fantastic. Saturday night, your second prime rib dinner is free, only at the Fox and Hounds. The magnificent Sunday brunch is all you can eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner right near Holy Hill. Call and reserve your free dinner this weekend. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Bumblebee Blinds Milwaukee makes it easy to refresh your home. Book a free consultation today. Get high-quality blinds with professional guidance and stress-free installation. Bumblebee Blinds Milwaukee.
11 minutes after 7 o'clock, this traffic report brought to you by Bumblebee Blinds. Visit them at bumblebeeblinds.com, Debbie.
Okay, northbound 41, still a little bit tight right past Mayfair Road all the way up past North Avenue, so keep that in mind. And the northbound 43 is backing up from about Locust up to Keefe. Other than that, everything else is looking good, so nice and quiet. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Scattered showers are possible for today. Cloudy skies and breezy winds out the northeast. High temperatures along the lake near 50, inland spots reaching into the mid-50s. Tonight, decreasing clouds, still a bit breezy, low temperatures in the upper 30s. Heading into Saturday, a few clouds early, then mostly sunny. High temperatures 50 lakeside, upper 50s inland. Sunday, inland spots climb into the 60s, lakeside areas in the mid-50s with partly cloudy skies. Monday, we'll see a chance for some scattered showers and storms, partly cloudy and warm, high across the area. Tuesday, the chance for some morning rain showers and storms, breezy, a high temperature near 70, falling later in the day. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
At 42 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Gates open for the NFL Draft Experience at noon today. The second and third rounds kick off at 7 o'clock tonight in Green Bay. We're going to hear from the Packers' number 1 pick coming up in sports in a few minutes.
In other news, he's back.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I mean, I'm just going to go defend myself.
Remember that guy?
I made a mistake, and I think humans are flawed, and we all make mistakes.
Disgraced former Congressman George Santos in the news today.
Happening today.
Yes, he is set to be sentenced in a New York federal court today after pleading guilty to a series of fraudulent screams. So he's convicted of wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, faces years in prison. Could be 2, could be 7. Government wants him put away for a long time. At issue is he hasn't really done himself any favors. He'll say, hey, I'm really sorry this happened. Hey, you're right, Judge. This is, I have remorse. And then he goes on and fires on all these people when he has a mic in front of him.
It's very much in this situation that Santos has turned out to be his own worst enemy. Even though he pled guilty, which ordinarily would lead to a defendant saying, I accepted responsibility, he followed that guilty plea with basically a tirade against the Department of Justice, disparaging everyone involved, even calling them a cabal of pedophiles.
Yeah, and the prosecutors are like,
all right.
Hello, what are you doing? That's why they're pushing for 7 years in this case.
This was the guy, and you cited the serious crimes, but outside of the things that were criminal, he first came on the radar because he's just a prolific liar.
Yes, just would make up everything.
He tells these crazy stories about how he played volleyball in college and whatever. I mean, you would expect, stuff crazy enough where you would expect him to say, I was once a second-round draft pick.
Right.
But it was crazy stuff like that.
Didn't we play that game where we were just rattling off things and you had to guess whether or not it was really a lie he made or if it wasn't?
And it was a hard game. I don't think I did well.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I have no clue of what you guys are talking about.
Oh, no, you can't disguise.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 10 weeks now, currently in the maintenance phase. Hit my goal, 35 pounds, reached my weight loss goal easy, fast, safely, and I'm going to continue working with a wonderful team at Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Here's how it sounded in front of a throng of Packers faithful, hundreds of thousands of people.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Matthew Golden is your newest Green Bay Packer. He played for the Texas Longhorns, had nearly 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Pretty cool when he came out on stage. The question is, do you still say silence is golden at the game? Like, are they going to have to change that now? Because this guy's last name is literally Golden.
Matthew Golden spent time in Green Bay on a pre-draft visit 2 weeks ago, and upon arrival in Green Bay this week, ended up face-to-face with Packers GM Brian Gutekunst.
I knew once I shook his hands, something just told me, they finna come get me.
The University of Texas junior feels like Green Bay is the perfect landing spot.
Definitely a great organization. And like I said, man, I'm so happy to be here and just get ready to go to work.
Gutekunst agrees.
Obviously, he's a very gifted athlete, gifted football player. But he's also just wired exactly how we want it.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
What makes this pick so exciting for the offense and for Matt LaFleur is because Golden can play any of the receiver positions. Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee said that's the best part.
Coaches trust him to play every wide receiver position in the playbook.
I don't necessarily expect that right away. But the fact that his college coaches trusted him with that tells me that eventually the Packers are going to be able to trust him to do that. And when you have somebody who can move around the field, that just becomes a chess piece and an ultimate weapon.
So rounds 2 and 3 of the draft are tonight. Boy, Green Bay look good. We'll have much more on the draft throughout the day. The Packers have 1 pick in round 2, 1 pick in round 3, and then again, the rest of the draft is tomorrow.
Speaking of green, oh, by the way, Bucks play tonight and need one.
Yeah, so it might be a big weekend in Green Bay. It's also kind of a big weekend in Brew City. Yes, the Bucks play tonight. Game 3, Bucks-Pacers. They're down 2-0 in the series, and they want you wearing green. Team asking fans to wear green at the game.
The team will be wearing green on Friday. We want fans, everybody coming to the game, to be wearing green, and then on Sunday for that late 8:30 game on Sunday night, everybody in black.
So green tonight, black on Sunday. Tonight, 7 p.m. Tip at Fiserv. Our coverage starts at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Brewers are in St. Louis. Good to get out of San Francisco. So they rebound tonight against the Cardinals. Our coverage is on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee tonight because of the Bucks here on WTMJ.
Man, we just leaked away that game.
Yeah.
Had a 5-1, 5-2 something. And
you had it. You had a 4-1 lead.
Felt it falling away. Sloppy defense again.
Yep.
Just,
Yep.
All right, Brewers and Cardinals tonight. Hey, Detroit, them's fighting words. That story next.
Okay, adventurers, listen up. Fox World Travel just dropped some seriously incredible Fox Group vacation destinations for 2026. Set sail on a yacht through the Croatian coastline, join a thrilling African safari, or immerse yourself in the mecca of all flower shows in London. And for the first time, we're introducing a woman's-only tour, partnering with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel. But these are just a few of the exclusive offerings. But don't wait. They're filling up fast. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to reserve your spot today.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. CJ's coming over to the house today.
Yeah?
Windows? CJ's coming over to do all the measurements for all the windows. And actually, he texted me yesterday and said, hey, you know what? Some things you might want to think about, and was giving me some other ideas for my wife and I to chew on even before it comes over. And then he can provide some of these different ideas about maybe different glass, maybe different ideas. Like, hey, so we're working on it. Tri-County Contracting, they're more than just your roof guys, right? They're more than just the worry-free roof tune-ups. They're more than just the siding. They also do windows, and we're working on ours right now. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Public service, courage, bravery, sacrifice. These are terms used to describe those who work in public safety who go above and beyond each and every day of their lives. If you have a police officer, dispatcher, fire professional, or an emergency nurse who impacted your life, in May we'll honor the best examples of paying it forward, sharing the tremendous stories of these local heroes. Nominate your local hero at WTMJ.com. Click on the Salute to Service banner at the top, or by texting SALUTE to the Siding Unlimited talking text line.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank.
A whole day dedicated to us?
No, dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan.
Come celebrate WTMJ with us, your favorite WTMJ host, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game Saturday, May 17th.
Enjoy food, drinks, and hanging out with us. Plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at AmFam Field.
Get more information and secure your tickets at WTMJday.com.
Tickets will go fast, so sign up today.
We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Woodman's.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Hi, Debbie Lazago.
Hi there. We've got a nice quiet ride shaping up around the area. No major delays. Just a little bit of a backup northbound 43 from North Avenue to Keith. Also 41 northbounds, just tightening up right around those curves past, starting just before Mayfair Road up past North Avenue. Rest of the system's actually looking nice and quiet. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Sorry about that pause there, Debbie. Vince and I were arguing over whether or not the Lions guy was telling the truth or not. We'll get to that in a second. The forecast sponsored by Dave.
Either way, he shouldn't have said it.
Well, we'll get to it. Dave Drake Campaigning sponsoring your forecast. Rain, likely some clouds and breezy today, a high of 55. Tonight, less cloudy and breezy, a low of 39. Saturday, sunny, 57 inland. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 63. Rain likely on Monday and a high of 78 inland. Right now it's 7:23.
This next story is about a couple of people beclowning themselves amid the furor over the NFL draft in Green Bay. One of them is our own. Have you seen some of the ridiculous social media posts from Governor Tony Evers?
Oh, my God.
These are around the draft. The governor was at the draft on Thursday, talked to WTMJ's John Mercure.
What do you think of the draft? This is a great event for Wisconsin and Green Bay. Lots of people here, lots of people happy, having fun, and so good for Wisconsin, money-wise, but it's really good for Green Bay.
And he should be proud the state did its part, chipped in millions of dollars to help this effort and to bring this event here.
Yes.
But more on some of the governor's silliness in a moment. First, before the thing even started, we're taking some fire from Detroit, which hosted the NFL draft last year. Reportedly in Detroit, a record 750,000 fans attended over the 3 days. 500,000 more than projected in Green Bay, which was, according to the NFL, at 205,000 on that first night. So not bad. The president of the Detroit Lions already campaigning for a return engagement in Detroit.
Well, I've mentioned to Roger, how could you ever do better than this? I mean, I think it's probably going to be a few years from now. A lot of cities are bidding on it. Green Bay has it this weekend. Pittsburgh has it next year.
President of the Lions speaking at an economic forum with a Detroit sportscaster named Brad Galley. And Rod Wood can't give Green Bay its turn.
And I told you off stage, there's no way Green Bay will come close.
In fact,
they'll finish second, or as I said to Brad off stage, third, like they did last year.
Heyo.
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 And this bothers you.
Well, you know what, Rod? If you would lower yourself and come visit meek little Green Bay this weekend, you could stop by the Packers Hall of Fame, where we have our 4 Vince Lombardi Super Bowl trophies on display, in case you want to know what one looks like. Detroit.
Heyo.
So there's that guy.
Well, so can I ask you something?
Detroit?
Is he wrong? I mean, we can't. We had 205,000 there on Thursday, which was amazing. And by the way, they shut down and wouldn't let more people in because it wasn't big enough.
I just didn't like it.
I get it. I just taking it a little too personally.
We got to get to our guy.
I am jazzed as hell.
It looks like it, Governor. I'm all for silly stuff on social media. We certainly do our share,
absolutely.
Right? But these posts on X, the videos, are absolutely cringy.
Go on, Tony.
In this cleverly produced video, our governor is in a Packers polo trotting around, throwing himself a pass, instructs himself to go long, then receives the pass in another cut, and then awkwardly spikes the football as though he's never done that before. And that's how the video ends, slickly produced. The other one, the governor is at a podium as if announcing a draft pick.
Wisconsin's #1 draft pick in 2025 is...
He then unveils a Packers jersey that says "Kid" on the back because, if you'll recall, this is the year of the kid.
Tonight, I'm declaring 2025 the year of the kid in Wisconsin.
Okay. Yes, Evers in his State of the State address. So... You want to hear?
So you don't like the schlocky, campy?
You want to hear how people like it? Oh, wow. The comments are, well, they range from the profane and ugly, which I don't support, to creatively critical.
Okay.
On X, I don't know who told you to do this, but you need to fire them. Oof, that was hard to watch. Hope everybody's okay. You throw like you have never thrown before. Delete this post. Greetings, my fellow sports ballers.
Oh, here we go.
Wow, Governor Evers runs a mean pick 6. CC Gov Tim Waltz. Remember, he was the football coach.
Yep.
Who told you this was a good idea? You should resign for this. There is still time to delete this. I feel bad for Wisconsin now. I'm shocked you left the comments open for this. And here's my favorite. I'll run your social media for $75K a year. I don't even like you. But it would be way better than whoever did this. Wow. So we took some from Detroit and our own guy in helping us.
Tonight, I'm declaring 2025 the year of the kid in Wisconsin.
Heyo.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up about 1.25%. The NASDAQ was up more than 2.5%, and the S&P 500 up 109 points to 54.85. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Feeling the winter chill even inside your house? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. Let me help you with that. We're talking today with Jeff Baer. He is owner of USA Insulation. USA to the rescue, Jeff. First things first, how often do you find working with existing homeowners that their homes are not properly insulated?
All the time, Vince. People just don't realize it. They finally look in their attic. They see they're running short there. And then we educate them on they might have some needs in their walls.
Now, do you find sometimes one area of the house needs a little more insulation, but another area is good?
On some occasions, absolutely.
But others not so much, right?
Correct. When we go out to your home, if we see that your insulation looks great, we're going to let you know that, and we're going to focus on the areas that you might have needs.
We're talking with Jeff Baer of USA Insulation of Milwaukee. All right, so what I think is so interesting about your company, Jeff, is you do it different. You get right into the walls of any exterior surface. Tell us about your innovative, highly effective injection foam insulation.
Sure, Vince. When we go out to a home, whether it's vinyl or aluminum sided or other surfaces, our goal is to remove that one piece of that siding all the way around the house, drill holes into the outer sheathing to gain access into the stud cavity. We then insert our foaming hose down, foam it from the bottom up, insert it up, foam from the top down. When we're done, we put a plug in place, and we replicate that as we go around the house. Once we're done, we clean up that side and put the siding back on. It's as if we were never there.
Now, is this the kind of thing that takes a couple of weeks to get done?
Absolutely not. Most homes we can generally get done in one day.
How about cost for homeowners?
Cost? Generally, on a 1,200 square foot ranch, you're looking at a price around $7,500.
But there are all these rebates, right, and discounts for qualified homeowners?
Absolutely. We've seen people get anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 in rebates, just depending on what they qualify for.
Well, and then you start with the energy savings right away.
Absolutely.
I feel warmer already, Jeff. Thank you. USA Insulation. USAinsulation.net.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Northbound on 43 backing up a bit right around the North Avenue curve all the way up towards Keefe. Otherwise, everything's looking good. That's your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff is in Moscow. He's meeting with Vladimir Putin as the U.S. continues efforts to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, the world continues to prepare for fallout from the trade war that's focused on China.
They're really pushing back hard against the president's repeated claims that he is, in fact, engaging in talks and negotiations with China to end this trade war that he started. The president, in a new interview with Time magazine, says that he has spoken to President Xi, but China is pushing back on that, calling it fake news, saying there are no negotiations on tariff issues and no agreement has been reached.
That's ABC's Rachel Scott in Washington. Over 100,000 people have been online to pay their respects to Pope Francis and file past his coffin in St. Peter's Basilica ahead of tomorrow's funeral. It's expected to draw over 200,000 people. And sentencing day for former Congressman George Santos, prosecutors seeking 7 years for wire fraud and identity theft. This is ABC.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Titletown gearing up for day 2 of the NFL Draft today. Our John Mercure is there.
Wow, is this incredible. I lived up here for 3 years. Never was there a weekend like this in April with the grills fired up, the beer is flowing. The parking is at a premium, but people are beginning to fill up the lots, even spaces that go for $150. You know what's cool is there are Lions fans, Vikings fans, Bears fans, all wearing their gear. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's going to win on this day at the NFL Draft in Green Bay. Boy, does that smell good. I think those are brats. John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Packers drafting wide receiver from Texas, Matthew Golden, in their first-round pick at number 23. Official attendance announced by the NFL, 205,000 on night 1.
A deadly home invasion in Milwaukee. This is just north of downtown. A 70-year-old victim battered and killed inside a home near 8th and Galena. This happened overnight. Now, Milwaukee police tell us They do know who they're looking for, but that suspect remains at large.
Milwaukee Public Schools set to reopen today after being closed for weeks due to lead dust. Fernwood Montessori is going to reopen after the Milwaukee Health Department approved the school's safety standards Tuesday night. Fernwood, along with Starnes Early Childhood Center and La Follette School, have been closed for weeks due to elevated amounts of lead dust. Now, the health department says Starnes is more than halfway there with the cleanup, and they hope to reopen there by the end of the month.
A second international student from UW-Madison is being granted a temporary stay after having her visa revoked, her student visa. 21-year-old Yu Yang's from China. She's suing the Department of Homeland Security over that. Her visa was revoked over a speeding ticket, which she pled no contest. She's suing because she says she was not given the right to due process.
Funding cuts forcing changes at Medical College of Wisconsin. MCW reporting it lost $5 million in research funds after the Trump administration canceled 8 grants. We've also frozen some hiring and ended plans to launch a program for aspiring physician assistants. The president of Wisconsin Technology Council, Tom Still, says medical research is not a good place to cut.
There was about $60 billion in NIH funding out of a total budget of $6.2 trillion. So we're talking less than 1% of the federal budget.
Medical College says every dollar of NIH funding has 8 times the economic impact in the community.
More than 224 films will be screened as part of the 2025 Milwaukee Film Festival, now officially underway. Coordinator Abby Esterline tells WTMJ's What's on Tap how the festival chooses the films.
We accept submissions from anyone all over the world. We also often travel to film festivals, so different places like Sundance and TIFF to see what they're playing, watch films there. And then we also reach out to filmmakers or distributors and say, like, hey, do you have movies you'd like us to check out? And often they do.
Festival runs through May 8th.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com. News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 7:37.
Why the Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst did something he hasn't been done in Green Bay in more than 2 decades. Sports at 7:45.
Be a lot of attention focused on this federal court in New York.
Happening today.
He's got supporters, amazingly. Accused United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangione is expected back in court in New York today to face federal charges and now talking death penalty again.
Luigi Mangione appears in court for his arraignment on that grand jury indictment. Federal prosecutors filed a notice with the judge indicating their plans to seek the death penalty. Usually we only see that after a conviction. Now the indictment charges him with 2 counts of stalking, a firearms offense, and murder through the use of a firearm. Now, that charge specifically makes him eligible for the death penalty if convicted.
ABC's Crystal Cranmore, she's outside the courthouse. Mangione, of course, accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December. The attack, according to prosecutors, had been planned for months and was meant to target the healthcare industry. And for whatever reason, some because of his looks, others because of his fight against healthcare, he has supporters. So, as always, whenever he is in court or there's going to be news around him centered on a courthouse or a courtroom, they have to deal with supporters.
It's Cuckoo Town
who could
outside
come
the courthouse.
from far and wide.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Market shifts, economic uncertainty, and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. No doubt, standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil, and we're totally on board with that. But retirement planning isn't a set-it-and-forget-it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized financial, retirement, estate, and tax plans that adapt as needed and put your goals first always. Already with another firm, but getting the feeling you're lost in the shuffle or they just can't keep up? A second opinion could be the smartest move you could make. If you're managing it yourself, we'll fill in the gaps with professional precision. You work hard to build your future. Don't leave it to chance. Put a pro on your side. Get a proactive plan from a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Feeling thrifty? Wisconsin State Fair's got you covered. It's the last week for $14 admission tickets. Plus, discounted cream puffs sweeten the deal. With a sale this good, you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair. Presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st to August 10th.
Just about 20 minutes before 8 o'clock. What do you see on the roads, Deb?
A little bit backed up northbound on 43 from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. Eastbound slowing down a bit on 94 right through the Stadium interchange to 35th Street. Northbound on 41, we do have delays from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Scattered showers are possible for today. Cloudy skies and breezy winds out the northeast. High temperatures along the lake near 50, inland spots reaching into the mid-50s. Tonight, decreasing clouds, still a bit breezy, low temperatures in the upper 30s. Heading into Saturday, a few clouds early, then mostly sunny. High temperatures 50 lakeside, upper 50s inland. Sunday, inland spots climb into the 60s, lakeside areas in the mid-50s with partly cloudy skies. Monday, we'll see the chance for some scattered showers and storms, partly cloudy and warm, high across the area. Tuesday, the chance for some morning rain showers and storms, breezy, a high temperature near 70, falling later in the day. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp, 42 degrees. A moment where when Erik and I were in Green Bay, we began to doubt the 250,000 estimate for the weekend at the NFL draft.
Yeah, you wondered. It was so quiet for so long leading up to Thursday. Business owners were biting their nails just a little bit.
Official attendance at day one listed at 205,000.
Look at all of these people expecting $250,000 over the weekend here in Green Bay.
The coverage was phenomenal, right? Then you saw the boom cameras and the sea of humanity there.
So were you envious at all? Because we were there on a much slower day. We were there Wednesday when it was just kind of a soft launch.
For two reasons, was not. We're watching the draft. The family's there. My wife said, so they're just going to stand there for 4 hours? I'm like, yeah, that's what this is. So no, I was good. And secondly, we got the behind the scenes stuff. We got to go on the draft stage. We got to go backstage.
Well, yeah. And you got kicked off the draft stage.
Off the stage, please. You gotta get off the stage.
Got to get off the stage. I thought I was invited on the stage.
You also got yelled at. I forgot you got yelled at in the green room, too. So the green room where you saw Matthew Golden and all these guys hugging their significant others and their family. Vince sat on one of the couches beforehand and got yelled at.
It'd just be an honor to play in the National Football League. So any single one of these guys. I think you're making a bigger deal out of this than it actually
Hey, he's clapping at you. Can't be on the furniture.
We were on the official tour. Yes, there was some stuff that I guess we got moved along on.
Yeah, I don't
People
know.
are going to think we got thrown out of Green Bay. That's why they're back in the studio this morning. They kicked them out. It's not accurate.
So then we come back. So we were working from the office on Thursday. And in case you didn't know, it was like International Kids Work in the Office Day, where like you could bring your child to work. And you and I, we didn't participate. Our children were in high school and stuff, not bringing them here. But there were some kids in the newsroom. And Debbie, I don't know if you're here or not, but I don't know if you've ever heard Vince speak. I know that you have. He likes to drop F-bombs occasionally and just casually throwing F-bombs and S-notes and whatever else as these children are coloring in our newsroom.
I forgot they were there.
In all
Multiple
honesty.
times.
God.
At one point, right, it was pointed out to me. Hey, the kid, right? Oh yeah, my bad. Yep. And then at one point, we were into something. And I was going back and forth with Brandon Snide and a couple others. We were looking at some videos and talking about the show, and then a couple of words might have slipped out, and then I get from Erik and Adam at the same time. Hey,
Like,
whoa,
dude.
hey. Oh.
And he's been a parent longer than any of us.
Father of the year, exactly. Turning around and saying, and those are words you should never say, kids.
Well, listen, you kids wanted to see mom and dad's work? Okay. That's what it's like for
Get
dad.
the real thing.
What's like for mom to have
What's
these
so
guys-
ironic about it, though, is that Vince, who has been on television for however many years, 20 years. So you always would have, for those not in the business, you would always wear your lav mics, which is like your little portable mic that'd be clipped on your tie. So for 20 years, you don't know if that thing's on or off when you're in a studio or you're using the restroom or at your desk or whatever. So I know you do it here still. Like you always bleep yourself. You always like couch yourself and not use swear words. You'll stop yourself.
When
or
we're
you'll say
in this-
it,
when
you'll
we're in the
mouth it.
studio.
Yeah, you'll mouth it instead of say it because you're so good about you never know when your mic is hot.
Don't want to leave that to chance.
But Debbie, here we are in the newsroom, and they're just flying left and right.
Safe zone.
You know who doesn't do that, though? One Erik Bilstad.
Yeah, I don't worry about that. I gamble a little bit, but not when kids are in the room.
You sassy man. 7:44. Listen, kids want to go to work? This is what work is on Wisconsin's Morning News. All league, so any single one of these guys.
You've probably been hearing a lot of buzz about tariffs.
I haven't.
Really?
What's a tariff?
It's a tax on imported goods.
It makes these imported goods more expensive.
Oh, that explains why I've never heard of tariffs.
Why?
Because 92.3% of the furniture at Penny Mustard is made in the USA.
True.
In fact, most of it is built by local craftsmen and women right here in the Midwest.
And locally sourced furniture will never have a tariff on it.
So when you invest in new furniture at Penny Mustard, you won't be paying extra taxes and shipping costs.
Besides, tariffs or no tariffs, our American-made Penny Mustard Strong furniture will last generations longer than IFE-made furniture shipped in from overseas.
You get so much more for your money when you buy American.
Tell me more about these tariffs.
Can we talk about this later? I'm so tired of hearing about them.
Oh, so I guess you can say that all this talk about tariffs is taxing.
I see what you did there.
PennyMustard.com.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
A lot of folks asking about the front hall closet still with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. I'll share the pictures with you. Text closet to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. You'll see how the first impression of our home is transformed thanks to my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets. So what we did was we knocked out entirely the dated old closet door and the shelving, and we replaced it with an open concept, white woodwork, modern finishes, and functional design. Best part about working with Katie and Dan, they came up with this design idea that I had never thought of. Beautiful, functional, clean, and calming. Have a look for yourself. Text closet to 855-616-1620 or check it out on our website, WTMJ.com. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
They're going to change it from green and gold, Vince. It's not going to be green and gold anymore. It's going to be green and golden.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas. And he's here.
The roar from thousands of Packers fans when Matthew Golden took the stage was deafening.
I wish I can go back out there right now, man. It was so cool, you know, the energy.
The 21-year-old junior had a feeling he'd end up in Green Bay following a pre-draft visit with the Packers front office just 2 weeks ago.
You know, I could just feel it. And, you know, I'm so excited to be here. I'm glad the organization picked me.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
If you had just turned on the television and you don't follow the NFL, you would have thought they won the Super Bowl. There's like fireworks going off. The place went nuts, and he even grabbed the mic.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
What's happening?
Welcome aboard, man.
You know what's so funny? Like an hour or two earlier, I had casually commented to the boys, we were watching it together. I said, you know what's going to happen? There's going to be acceptance speeches here pretty soon.
Oh, no.
And like here, we pretty much had one.
It's because it was Green Bay, right? And because he just had his
of course.
moments.
It was awesome. It could not. It was amazing. The Packers haven't drafted a receiver in the first round since 2002. GM Brian Gutekunst, on the moment Mark announced that pick, Mark Murphy, of course.
I really said it in a different name, but Mark just announced what he announced. So
he
is the president.
He had a tackle picked. And Rounds 2 and 3 are tonight for the Packers. The rest are tomorrow in Green Bay. We will go live to Green Bay and chat with Mark Tauscher here in just a couple of minutes. We have a big weekend in Milwaukee, too, by the way. It's not just Green Bay having the big sports weekend. The Bucks get back to work tonight. First round of the playoffs here against the Pacers. They're down 2-0, but now the next 2 games are at home, and you got to win these. Next 2 games tonight, starting tonight at Fiserv Forum. So the team asking all fans headed to the game tonight to wear green because the Bucks are going to be in green unis. So wear green tonight, and then on Sunday they're asking anyone going to the game to wear black. So Bucks and Pacers tonight, 7 o'clock tip from Fiserv. Our coverage starts at 6 right here on WTMJ Radio. And because of that, you can hear the Brewers and Cardinals on ESPN Milwaukee tonight. So 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee will be where you hear the Brewers, who are visiting St. Louis for a weekend series.
Finished 1-3 on that West Coast leg of the road trip.
Should be happy they left. They lost again Thursday afternoon.
About 10 minutes before 7 o'clock, Mark Tauscher live from Green Bay next.
It's Debbie Lazaga, and I'm so excited because I've chosen Kohler Services to transform my old bathtub into a beautiful new Luxstone shower this month. Kohler Services makes it so easy. They came to my home, took measurements, and answered all of my questions. I was able to feel the crushed stone wall material and design my custom shower. I can't wait for my installation. You can request your free quote for a custom Kohler Luxstone shower by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
They did it again, and people always want to share their stories. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, one of my golfing buddies, 2 new knees from OAW this offseason. Did one, healed up, did the other, healed up. We walked 18 holes together the other day. Amazing recovery, and he hasn't walked the course pain-free in years. I mean, it no longer hurts me to watch him hobble around the golf course. This, too, can be your outcome when you visit the docs at OAW. Maybe it's physical therapy or another non-invasive treatment that's the right fit for you. Honest doctors who will lay out your options. Visit the new Physical Therapy Center in Germantown. You can walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic in Brookfield or Pewaukee, or start online anytime at orthowisconsin.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors. Grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com to learn more.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Debbie, what do you see on the roads?
Well, we got a crash now on the ramp from westbound 94 to Brewers Boulevard. It is off on the right shoulder, so heads up with that. A little tight through the stadium interchange. Eastbound's backing up a little bit, too, from Mitchell Boulevard to 35th Street. Northbound 43, that's heavy from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. And northbound 41 has the backups from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Drakecamp's Heating. Their comfort is your family's tradition. Showers are likely today. Cloudy, breezy, a high of 55. Tonight, less clouds, breezy, a low of 39. Saturday, sunny, 57 inland. Sunday, partly cloudy, 63 inland. Monday, there's a chance for storms, but it's going to be warm, a high of 78 inland. Right now, it's 7:53, 42 degrees.
Idea man.
But we got to get better there, too, as well. And we need another guy like a Desmond Howard.
Innovative.
I love all takes. I want people to have opinions. But, yeah, all right, Don, no doubt.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
We could use a Super Bowl MVP kickoff returner. You know who else would be nice? Let's get Reggie White back out there so we get that pass rush shored up.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tausch, you know what it's like getting through. You want to take care of all of our business partners here. I was laughing at Erik because he said, what did you say, Drake Camp? Their comfort is your family's tradition. He reversed the there and the your, as if to say in the Tauscher household, you're really hoping the Drake camps over there are doing well this morning.
Yeah, well,
I hope everybody's good.
I get it. I think we all at some point have done that, but we want to thank the Drake camp.
We sure do. Nice and thanks for pointing it out, Vince. Appreciate it.
Right. I don't make any mistakes, Tausch.
No,
for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Listen to this crowd.
Oh, baby.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Tausch, what a sexy pick for the Green Bay Packers. That crowd was not ready, due respect, to hear offensive tackle from whenever they were ready for that wide receiver pick.
No, I mean, I'm still recovering from last night, and it was – I don't think, the TV and we saw the drone shots, the energy and what was going on was just unbelievable. And, I think the Mark Murphy component, obviously, the draft, there's 2 more days of it, but he was really taking that moment in. And then for the board to fall the way that it did, and, Jason and I did an interview at the Tundra Trio with Matt LaFleur a couple hours before the draft last night, and you just got the sense, I've been kind of thinking the last couple of days wide receiver was going to be the spot. And then when LaFleur got there and we were talking to him, you could sense he's like, there's a couple of guys we really like, and he's an offensive guy. For the board to fall that way, for Mark Murphy to be able to kind of take that moment in and Green Bay show out the way it did, and then the Packers get a player that they feel can really make this offense better at a position you really needed. It was about as perfect a night up in Green Bay, at least for a draft night, as you could have possibly looked for.
It looked amazing on television. What was it like kind of being there in the scrum to see it? Was it as intense as it appeared on TV?
It was. We walking around, I did not go into the scrum per se. It was crazy. I mean, the amount of people, and I don't know what time they made the announcement that it was full. I don't know if they anticipated that they would actually end up getting to that point, but the report was 205,000 people were floating through, and everybody was happy. And it didn't matter. I think the thing that maybe surprised me the most is how much green and gold. The draft is obviously a league-wide thing, and there were other teams' jerseys, but I would bet it was 80 or 90%. And the Packer fans know how to show up. About 7 or 8 hours before, you could just see all of the parking lots, all of the drive. Everybody was just out and about having the time of their lives. And I think the whole scene, for what anybody thought it was going to be, I think it probably exceeded that from a fan standpoint and from just a people watching perspective. It was unbelievable.
So it started with Roger Goodell riding out on a bicycle, followed by some Packers fan favorites, and of course Lil Wayne as well on a bike. And then this happened. Clay Matthews takes the mic.
It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
And Tausch, Vince didn't like it. Vince didn't like the Bears still suck routine at the beginning there.
Why not?
I just thought that was our moment, Tausch. Like, maybe later, maybe day two, I don't care. Like, there's always room for that chant and for that sentiment in Green Bay, and it is part of our relationship with Chicago. But I just felt like in that moment, let's be all Green Bay. Let's be super fun and positive.
I kind of understand what you're saying, because I think we, as Packer fans, whenever if the Cubs are doing something great and they'll say the Packers suck or whatever their little chant is, we're always like, man, we're in their head.
Yes.
So I actually, you know what? I laughed. I thought it was really funny how that played last night, but I hadn't even thought of it from that perspective. And before we go, we got together last night after about midnight with some of our teammates, and the whole Goody Mark Murphy thing. Is there a chance that anybody else actually believed that Mark Murphy just drafted who he wanted, or are we all just laughing about that? Because we all were looking at it like he had his speech all prepped, obviously. He was dialed in with the 2002 and 23 years. We were all laughing like, I know it didn't happen, but it would have been kind of awesome if that is how it played out, that Mark just went up there and said, this is who I want, and this is who I'm drafting.
Yeah, Goody did suggest as much. He's like, actually, that's not even who I picked.
Well, I really said it in a different name, but Mark just announced what he announced. So,
I mean, awesome.
He is the president. He could have done it.
Yeah, he could have. That would have been something else. But could you imagine if Goody is sitting there and he puts the name in that he wants the guard that the Vikings ended up taking? Instead, Murphy's like, no, you know what, man? I've been doing this for 20-some-odd years. I'm going to do it my way tonight since I'm going out. It was just a really funny, and I love that Goody played into it a little bit and had a little fun with it.
Mark Tausch, live with us this morning. Looking forward to your coverage through the weekend on ESPN Wisconsin. Thanks, Tausch.
Thanks, guys.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Medical College of Wisconsin seeks a cancer center designation for its Center for Cancer Discovery. Such a designation for the nearly completed $153 million facility would open more federal funding opportunities for the medical college. A 25-foot, 1-ton troll sculpture debuts in Wauwatosa's new Firefly Grove Park on May 28th. The city commissioned Danish artist Thomas Dambo to create the sculpture, which will be assembled at the park through the month of May using recycled materials from local sources. Milwaukee-based Goodland Extracts plans to grow distribution nationally of its line of THC-infused sodas to 16 states by the end of 2025. Its Cherry Pie High Soda was judged Best in Show in the recent High Spirits competition. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
When the first followers of Jesus were hiding in fear, afraid for their lives, trying to shut out a big bad world, Jesus, crucified and risen from the dead, passed through those doors. It couldn't be us versus them anymore, because Jesus is for everyone, even if everyone is not yet for Jesus.
Dr. Michael Ziegler, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Okay, who's ready to fish? Fleet Farm's all stocked and ready to go with the hottest brands to help you gear up for the season. Like the latest lines and lures from Berkeley, Fluger rods and reels, Northland tackle, bobbers, and bait, all sorts of Senko worms, the best in fish finders from Humminbird, Lowrance, and Garmin, St. Croix rods, new releases from Abu Garcia, and more. Stop in and check out the latest fishing gear from all your favorite brands at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Friday, August 25th. Our top story, hundreds of thousands flock to Green Bay.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The White House threatens to walk away.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We do have a crash on the ramp from westbound 94 to Brewers Boulevard in the Stadium Interchange. It's off on the right shoulder. Northbound 43 backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Northbound 41 also heavy from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, high of 55 degrees today, a little bit cooler near the lake with showers likely. Decreasing clouds, low of 39 tonight. Right now at 42 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center in Green Bay.
Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
They always bring it out. The NFL Draft kicked off Thursday night from Lambeau Field. Little bit of history for the Packers Thursday, as announced by President and CEO Mark Murphy.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
I think the crowd liked it at all. Golden is the first of 8 picks the Packers will make through this 2025 draft.
So many people showed up. Attendance at night 1 of the draft reached levels that required some crowd control.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell started Thursday's festivities by mentioning the growing crowd size.
People said that Green Bay was too small, but we have over 125,000 people here and still counting.
That number eventually would balloon to 205,000 fans, according to the NFL. So many people filled the stage area, entrants had to be halted Thursday evening while overflow seating was set up in the bowl of Lambeau Field. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Green Bay now gearing up for days 2 and 3 of the draft. Parking is at a premium if you're headed up. WTMJ's John Mercure in Titletown.
I am in our former yard. We used to live up here for 3 years. In our yard, those years, we could get about 50 cars. We charged $20 a car. Now, where I park today, oh my gosh, over $100 a car. Do the math on that. The vibe is cool. People are paying for the parking. Everybody's kind of an entrepreneur. I just walked past a girl who's selling lemonade, another one selling bracelets on the corner. The folks are here. It's big time. The vibe is festive, and it's a whole lot of fun. Wow, this is pretty cool. In Green Bay, John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Following some breaking news this morning in downtown Milwaukee, or at least near downtown, a deadly home invasion just north of the downtown area. A 70-year-old victim battered and killed inside a home near 8th and Galena. Now, Milwaukee police tell us this morning they do know who they're looking for, but that suspect remains at large.
As Russia escalates its attacks against Ukraine, the Trump administration emphasizing that a deal between the two has to happen now or risk losing U.S. involvement altogether. ABC's Rachel Scott.
President Trump repeatedly said he could end the war on day 1. But months into his second term, his vice president is threatening to walk away if both sides don't agree to a deal.
We've issued a very explicit proposal to both the Russians and the Ukrainians, and it's time for them to either say yes or for the United States to walk away from this process.
In the Oval Office, when asked what concessions Russia was giving up for peace, the president says Putin is not taking the whole country.
Stopping the war, taking the whole country, pretty big concession.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky rejecting the current proposal, saying, quote, "We will negotiate, we will not surrender."
The Trump administration funding cuts are hitting the Medical College of Wisconsin.
So far, a loss of about $5 million in research grants. President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. John Raymond.
There's a real prospect that we and others will not only need to redirect research, but also shrink our research enterprise.
The medical college has already frozen some hiring and halted development of a new physician assistant program.
For every dollar of NIH funding that comes into the state, there's an economic impact of 8-fold in the community.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, trying to clear the skies in the Big Apple. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Enjoy the Fox & Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
Today, last day for people to pay their respects to Pope Francis. The funeral is tomorrow. Vatican reporting over 130,000 people have visited the Pope's coffin, including members of his family. Nora O'Donnell from CBS News on what to expect at tomorrow's Mass.
The Mass will be about 2.5 hours long, and it will be mostly in Latin. It will be led by Cardinal Ray. He is the Dean of the College of Cardinals. And then we will see a procession to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, where the Vatican says a group of the poor and needy will be waiting outside to say a final farewell.
The conclave's work to choose a new pope not expected to start until after the 9 days of public mourning early next month.
Federal prosecutors say they plan to seek the death penalty against Luigi Mangione if convicted of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He'll be in court today. CBS's Ellie Bauman's there.
Mangione is accused of stalking and gunning down the 50-year-old father of two as Thompson walked to a conference at a New York hotel. Police say he fled the city and was arrested 5 days later at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The killing became a touch point for anger over high costs for patients in the U.S. healthcare system. People across the country have voiced support for the suspect and donated to his defense.
Mangione expected to be arraigned today on federal murder charges. He's also facing New York State charges.
New York City may crack down on tour helicopters after this month's deadly crash into the Hudson River.
The city council approved a bill that would ban helicopters that exceed FAA noise standards from using the city's heliports. Council Majority Leader Amanda Farias.
Many of us are also looking at how do we regulate the safety measures that have to be put in place.
The bill's passage comes 2 weeks after a helicopter crashed in the Hudson River, killing a family of 5 from Spain and the pilot. It's not clear if Mayor Eric Adams will sign the bill. He's long defended the tour helicopter industry. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Coming up, it was said Green Bay might be too small to host an event like the NFL Draft, at least for a while. On Thursday, it was. That story next.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If their issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more, this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At 8:12, how do the roads look this morning, Deb?
Well, we do have this accident on the ramp from 94 westbound to Brewers Boulevard in the stadium interchange. It's on the right shoulder, so you should be able to get past it without too much of an issue. Northbound 43 backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue to past Keefe. Northbound 41 still going to be heavy from Watertown Plank Road up past North Avenue. Otherwise, everything else is looking good. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ
5-day forecast. Scattered showers are possible for today. Cloudy skies and breezy winds out the northeast. High temperatures along the lake near 50. Inland spots reaching into the mid-50s. Tonight, decreasing clouds, still a bit breezy. Low temperatures in the upper 30s. Heading into Saturday, a few clouds early, then mostly sunny. High temperatures 50 lakeside, upper 50s inland. Sunday, inland spots climb into the 60s. Lakeside areas in the mid-50s with partly cloudy skies. Monday, we'll see the chance for some scattered showers and storms, partly cloudy and warm. High across the area. Tuesday, the chance for some morning rain showers and storms, breezy, a high temperature near 70, falling later in the day. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Forecast brought to you by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
8:13 on this Friday morning, an absolute sea of humanity at Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
Look at all of these people expecting $250,000 over the weekend here in Green Bay.
NFL Network, as the camera was panning the crowd. Crowds expected once again today, day 2 of the NFL Draft. The NFL Commissioner opening the event.
People said that Green Bay was too small for this, with a population of 107,000. But we have over 125,000 people here and still counting.
And when they were done counting, the official crowd estimate by the NFL, and I don't know how they come up with this. I suppose at the gated entry you can count 205,000 when it was all said and done.
So many people, they had to shut things down.
Yes, for a while, Green Bay was too small.
So they were
Fair enough.
right.
Hearing from some local fans who didn't get in, the NFL suspended entry to the draft zone right around the start of the event. Message boards declaring, and folks got messages on their app that it was at capacity. Heard from a few fans. You've heard from some. I've heard from some. A few on the text line this morning that they weren't able to get in. These fans were talking with Fox 11 News in Green Bay.
Well, we were really excited to get in there, but it's unfortunate that there's so many people that it's blocked off right now. It's rough. We got a lot of people coming from out of town, and unfortunately we were not able to get too close. We can see it a little bit here, but not very much of it. Really wanted to see a player walk out.
I didn't know that they're going to be blocking off like the barrier here. Otherwise, I probably just would have gotten my seat earlier and just would have stayed inside, but it's okay.
They later did open the gates once again. It sounds like just before 8 o'clock, so after the event had begun. And they started opening up Lambeau Field itself for folks who wanted to be there but not quite there.
Right, yeah. Well, a couple of people I knew were there in front of the stage. A couple of them left to get food. But then they blocked off the stage area, so then they couldn't get back in. So then they had to watch it in Lambeau Field instead.
Lost their spot.
Yeah.
Well, and there's no scandal here, because number one, it's free, so you're not entitled to get in. Right. And number two, where else were you going to put people? This was the sea of people, and actually, you were doing the math. The 250,000 number that has been touted is for the weekend.
So they should top.
So if you go over 205 on night one. Right?
You got to think at least another 40,000 are going to show up the next 2 days.
The commissioner opened the event by joining some former Packers greats and rapper and Green Bay superfan Lil Wayne, if you need him. At least once a season, he leads the team out of the tunnel.
He seems to show up.
Who likes him over there? And I'm not saying they should, but who really likes Lil Wayne? Is it LaFleur? Is it somebody who's like, no, Lil Wayne this week?
Yeah, we need him.
No, I texted with him. He's coming this week. Awkwardly, they rode bikes onto the stage, a nod, of course, to the Packers training camp tradition, as we were promised.
So you didn't like that?
I thought it was just awkward and a little bit silly.
They should have been BMX bikes, like little tiny bikes.
Little kid bikes, right, yes, instead of the now corporate bike that they've turned that riding to training camp into. That was mistake number one right out of the gate. The second, I thought, was giving former Packers great Clay Matthews the mic, who made the crowd a little bit nervous, suggesting he had spoken with President Trump. And all of a sudden, I think there was a little like, are we going political here? Like, what is the message? There were some cheers for the president. Yeah. But I think folks were nervous. Roger Goodell, not sure this was planned. So here's Matthews. This was his message.
It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
You think that was a bet? Was he put up to that?
Hey, dude, I dare you to grab the mic from Goodell. And I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No. I mean, and again, no scandal here. I didn't so dislike it that I'm complaining about it. I'm just saying that my reaction as a fan was there is plenty of time and room for that saying. Said it many times, and it's part of what we do.
Right.
And the Bears do still suck. But that said, like, that was your opening salvo, your first moment. Here we go. Here's a Packers great. And the Bears are still living in his head.
Right.
We own the Bears den. You want a Super Bowl, Clay? Like, be bigger.
It's kind of like that little brother syndrome to Chicago.
Yeah. So I just thought it was a small moment when it should have been big.
You know what part I thought was really, actually, I chuckled at it, was when Roger Goodell, because the Bears picked 10th. So Goodell goes out there, and he, obviously, Steve McMichael just passed away, Hall of Famer. Bears love him. Bears fans, adored that guy. And there was booing when they first started talking about the Bears, and they stopped. And as soon as he went through and obviously shared his condolences to the McMichael family, then boo, and then booing started again. Which,
out of respect, Commissioner. Plus, he spent a season with the Packers.
Right. But he actually, he even smiled. Like, he actually appreciated it. Like, hey, thanks for being cool. We're not going to boo, someone who just passed. But, okay, now we're back to the Bears.
To what you do. And that's a perfect spot for it.
That was
exactly.
Great. That was great.
Right. So I don't have a problem that I expected Packers fans to boo and give them the business as they would us down there. But I just thought in that moment, right out of the gate, that seemed misplaced. Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy, the driving force between bringing this event to Green Bay and all the logistics that went with this, he had the honor of announcing the first pick.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
And there you have it.
I just loved that reaction from the crowd as before he even announced the pick. First time in
everyone knew then.
Are we actually going to draft a wide receiver? And then, wide receiver, they just started, didn't even know who it was yet.
And then just seeing him come out on stage, you got chills. Let's go! And that place went nuts. There was fireworks. He's hugging everybody, cheering. Even at one point, grabs the microphone and starts chatting with the crowd.
I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
What is going on? It was amazing.
Seems like a really cool guy.
He did. Like, you love
I'm
that
excited
energy.
for him.
Yes, like super excited to be there, confident, was owning the moment. Can appreciate that.
A lot of folks that we've talked to who are in the sports industry, talked to Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Wisconsin, Tausch, of course. They both like the pick. As a fan, I always like our first round pick. Like, almost always. You're like, wow, this guy's going to be great.
Of course.
Like,
He
what
looks,
do we know?
I like the cut of his jib.
Yes. You know what I know about most of these guys? The 7 highlights they show them blowing somebody up in that moment right after. So that's what I know. I do want to get into the capacity issue here a little bit more in a bit. If you had thoughts of attending today, or particularly on Saturday, don't be scared off necessarily. Okay, things are going to look a little bit different. When we were up there, Erik and me in Green Bay on Wednesday, I spoke with the NFL's live events coordinator. Her name is Kelsey Pietrangelo, and she told me Saturday is really family-focused, and they're going to make more room.
Yeah, so for sure, Saturday we really want to, every day is for families, right? But as we go through the days, Saturday, the weather looks beautiful. It's very family-focused. There's a lot of activity that we're doing here. There's a market, there's a bike parade starting at 8 a.m. that we're encouraging children to come down to and ride. And then what we also do is, as it's laid out now, we really do remove some of the seating here within the theater itself to allow more standing room only at the back of it. And by doing that, we provide more opportunity and chances for fans to be able to come inside. So we have a backfill process in order to do so, but by doing that, we're able to bring more people in to just enjoy everything that's going to happen on Saturday.
So they are going to reconfigure things a bit. And again, even I did hear from one buddy of mine who said, yeah, we didn't get in. We're disappointed about that. However, we still had a blast. So obviously you would rather have gotten in if you made the trip and made the effort.
Well, because,
but they found
outside the footprint, there's a ton going on.
The festival atmosphere. If you typically go to games, you know where Stadium View is. The bar on Holmgren Way is right near there. I think Anduzzi's is still up there. A couple of the new places have popped up. And so it's just like a game day where there's a festival atmosphere around even the perimeter. If you never bother actually even going in there, you'll still have a blast.
Think Kroll's is doing okay?
I think they might be all right.
Okay, good.
How's that meal sitting with you still? Eric made me take him to Kroll's, and we did enjoy that. It's worth it for the atmosphere.
Well, and we were like the only ones in the place when we went, but I'm sure they're enjoying themselves now.
So much more ahead, rounds 2 and 3 tonight. That actually kicks off at 7 p.m. They open the gates on the perimeter at noon today.
You think
rounds
there's gonna be
4, 5, 6 Saturday.
A crush of people there wanting to get in early to make sure that they are there and not turned away at the door.
Would it surprise you if they were there right now? It would not. 8:23 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What do you see happening on the drive, Deb?
Still the same delays. Northbound 43 from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Northbound 41 from about Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Burleigh. We do still have this accident in the stadium interchange as well. It's on the ramp from westbound 94 to Brewers Boulevard, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, everything else looks pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Kohler Services, and I am so excited because I have chosen Kohler Services to transform my old bathtub. Not just any old time, it's going to start happening on Monday. It's going to be a beautiful new Luxstone shower, and Kohler Services makes it super easy. They came out to my house, they took the measurements, they answered all my questions. I was actually able to feel the crushed stone material, the Luxstone, that they're going to make the walls out of. It's just going to be gorgeous. I can't wait for my installation, and you can request your free quote today for a custom Kohler Luxstone shower by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Spring is in the air, the perfect time to kickstart those home improvement dreams. Hi, Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. They're your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient upgrades. Boost your curb appeal and add real value with top brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. All customized to fit your home and your style. Wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, they've got it all. And their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom is the place to start. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights. And help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale. And take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
CertaPro Painters, transform my house. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's absolutely beautiful. The pros came out to our house, sat down with my wife Michelle and me, weren't sure what color we wanted. They were able to walk us through specific colors for our house and for our neighborhood. That's just how they roll. For your home or business, it's CertaPro. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Call right now and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. They are quite simply absolutely the best. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Construction season really cranking up. Might not need me to tell you that, right?
Oh my gosh. Just open your eyes.
Yeah, the orange barrels kind of pop out in spring, and before they're really blocking off traffic, they just sort of reemerge.
Do you ever wonder if, like, certain areas communicate with other areas? Like, hey, so you're going to put all the barrels up in this artery, then maybe we shouldn't put all the barrels up on this other artery that people use?
I don't wonder that. Do you know why? I know the answer to that. No.
They clearly don't.
Clearly no coordination or communication whatsoever between these various entities where you're like, all right, well, I'll take this way then because this is under...
Oh, that's also...
all right, that's blocked too. Well, maybe I'll try... Oh! Well, it is on. We've got work zones through 894, 43 north of the Marquette, the 4145 on the northwest side. This week, the DOT is turning a spotlight on safety through those areas. It's National Work Zone Awareness Week, and here's Debbie with more.
There's no such thing as construction season. There, I've said it. You only need to drive along I-43 or I-894 west of the Mitchell interchange to experience the latest batch of work zones in our area. Work zones and highway workers are integral to upgrading and maintaining our transportation system, but it can be dangerous. National Work Zone Awareness Week is an annual reminder that work zone safety continues to be a relevant issue. Statewide Work Zone Operations Engineer for the DOT, Aaron Schwark.
On average, we have about 300 state highway and bridge improvement projects. So those can include, our local projects, municipality projects.
All of them with their own unique work zone configuration. So folks driving through them need to be on their game, paying attention. Luckily, there's a little help.
We have signs on the side of the road alerting motorists. We have drums on the side of the road to try to separate traffic from that work zone. We have concrete barrier out there to add that positive protection to increase the safety of the workers. There's a lot of things out there. So we want drivers to slow down when they're in their work zone, put their phones down and pay attention so we can eliminate some of those crashes that may occur in our work zones.
From 2019 to 2023, Wisconsin work zones saw more than 10,000 crashes, causing 64 deaths and more than 3,800 injuries. This includes drivers and passengers, too. It's so important that there's a theme to this year's commemoration.
This year, that theme is work zones are temporary. Actions behind the wheel can last forever.
Want to help? Here are a few suggestions.
Adhere to the speed limit as they're going through that work zone. They can watch for changing conditions. In some of our work zones, we do have lane closures. Just want to make sure they're paying attention and can avoid those rear-end type crashes. And then just eliminate distractions. Make sure you're not on your phone, you're not texting, and just make sure you buckle up. Take every safety measure as you would as you're driving your car.
Yesterday, we had Go Orange Day, as we all wore orange to support work zone safety. And on Friday, the DOT is also planning to participate in a moment of silence.
It's a big national thing, and they do take a moment of silence to recognize all of the fallen workers that have been killed in our work zones and give that moment of silence so they are remembered each year.
So think of this week as just a part of the ongoing reminders to keep the work zone workers in mind.
And just think about the workers behind there, and they all have families or friends that they want to go home to at the end of the day.
Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
I do find one of those things that is legitimately helpful through these work zones are the radar things that show you how fast you're going.
Yeah.
Right? It's flashing your speed is. And
you like that?
Whoa, hey. Yep. Because you come in hot at whatever the speed limit was, you hit that work zone, and if it's not backed up, you can still be going a little bit faster than you should. It is 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you've saved in a 401k or IRA, you might think you're set for retirement. But here's something you need to know. Every dollar you withdraw could be taxed. And with rising government debt, future tax hikes could take an even bigger bite out of your savings. Imagine reaching retirement only to realize the IRS is taking more of your money than you expected. It's one of the biggest risks that retirees face. Spending their savings without a plan for taxes. And once you're retired, it's often too late to fix it. That's why I want to help you create a tax strategy now so you can keep more of your hard-earned money. At Drake & Associates, we focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you lower your lifetime tax bill and maximize your retirement income. And right now, I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit, plus a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to show you how to keep more of your money working for you, not the IRS. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free copies. Don't wait until tax rates rise. Start planning today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Shop Beauty Rest Black mattresses at Steinhafels. Right now, the new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
8:32, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Friday, April 25th. Our top story, a throng of fans in Green Bay.
I'm Erik Bilstad, credentials in question.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We've got this accident on westbound 94 to southbound Brewers Boulevard in the stadium interchange, so watch out for that. I'm not seeing too many delays with that one, but we are seeing some delays westbound 894 heading into the Hale interchange on the ramp to the Rock Freeway southbound. Looks like there's a broken down vehicle in the left lane that's starting to slow things down, so just keep that in mind. Northbound 43 backing up from just past Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Northbound 41 slowing down just past Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue and then from Burleigh to Capitol. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Showers likely today under mostly cloudy skies with a high of 55 degrees, but cooler near the lake. Tonight's low down to 39, and we're warming up slowly. Milwaukee at 44. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, today the gates to the NFL Draft Zone open at noon. Round 2 kicks off at 7 o'clock tonight. The draft well off and running, though, in Green Bay. Hundreds of thousands pouring into Titletown. Attendance night 1 of the draft, according to the NFL, reached levels that required crowd control.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell started Thursday's festivities by mentioning the growing crowd size.
People said that Greenway was too small, but we have over 125,000 people here and still counting.
That number eventually would balloon to 205,000 fans, according to the NFL. So many people filled the stage area, entrance had to be halted Thursday evening while overflow seating was set up in the bowl of Lambeau Field. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A deadly home invasion on Milwaukee's north side, just north of downtown, actually. This is near 8th and Galena. A victim, 70 years old, battered and killed inside a home. A known suspect remains at large this morning.
An overnight home invasion turned deadly just north of downtown Milwaukee. And more information coming in on that story. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Public Schools set to reopen today after being closed for weeks due to lead dust. Fernwood Montessori set to reopen after the Milwaukee Health Department approved the school's safety standards earlier this week. Fernwood, along with Starnes Early Childhood Center and La Follette School, have been closed for weeks due to elevated amounts of lead dust.
In the wake of a car bomb killing of a top-ranking Russian official, President Trump now says Crimea will stay with Russia. In an interview with Time magazine, the president says Ukrainian President Zelensky understands he will have to give up Crimea. Russia seized that region in 2014, 8 years before it invaded Ukraine. Now, on Wednesday, Trump accused Zelensky of, in his words, prolonging the killing field by refusing to surrender Crimea. The president's envoy, Steve Witkoff, is meeting with Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, in Moscow today.
Credentials of President Trump's nominee for Surgeon General coming under scrutiny.
Dr. Jeanette Nashwat gained visibility as an urgent care doctor in New York during the COVID pandemic.
It's this novel virus, a new disease.
CBS News has learned she did not earn her medical degree from the University of Arkansas, as she claims. She completed her residency in Arkansas, but obtained her medical degree from the American University of the Caribbean. The Fox News contributor also claims she is double board certified, but CBS News could only confirm her certification in family medicine. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Senate confirmation hearing for Dr. Nashwat has not yet been scheduled.
More than 220 films are going to be screened as part of the 2025 Milwaukee Film Festival, which is now underway, kicked off Thursday night. Milwaukee Film Program Coordinator Abby Esterline tells WTMJ's What's on Tap how the festival chooses the movies.
We accept submissions from anyone all over the world. We also often travel to film festivals, so different places like Sundance and TIFF to see what they're playing, watch films there. And then we also reach out to filmmakers or distributors and say, like, hey, do you have movies you'd like us to check out? And often they do.
The festival runs through May 8th.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Been up and down and not a lot of movement overall as the markets have been open for about 7 minutes. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 36 points at the moment at 40,057. S&P 500 is up 7 points to 5491, and the NASDAQ is up 37 to 17,204. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:37.
Traffic is sponsored by Wisconsin State Fair. Big Group Save Big at Wisconsin State Fair. Deals end April 27th.
Big Group save big at Wisconsin State Fair. Take advantage of discounted group tickets for parties of 25 or more at wistatefair.com. Hurry, deals end April 27th.
Coming up, do you take the selfie or no?
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
We didn't write the headline, the Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like Livingston seed packets, 25% off MSRP, up to $300 off select Cub Cadet riding mowers, all backed by our service guarantee. See an associate for details. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Checking in on the roads here with Debbie at 20 to 9.
Okay, we got this accident in the stadium interchange. Again, not really affecting too many people. At least I'm not seeing too many delays. It's technically on the ramp from westbound 94 to Brewers Boulevard. And then we also have this broken down vehicle in the Hale interchange, technically on the ramp to southbound 43, the Rock Freeway. For a while there, the left lane right about at 92nd Street was really slowing down. It's getting a little bit better now. Northbound 43, you are seeing delays from north of Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Northbound 41, still heavy from just before Mayfair Road past North, and then again just before Burleigh up towards Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
President Trump and the First Lady Melania Trump are on their way to the Vatican. They took off earlier this morning for the funeral of Pope Francis, which is set to take place early Saturday morning Central Time, so like 3 a.m. Central Time, obviously, because it's overseas. So it's about a 2.5-hour service. Lots of people still waiting to see the Pope as he lies in state.
By last night, more than 90,000 mourners had filed through St. Peter's Basilica to pay their respects.
Just think it's incredible to be here and to experience it with them.
Yeah, so right now they've said like 200,000 people at some point. They're going to close the casket today as tens of thousands of mourners continue to wait for their chance. Here's a question. When is it appropriate to take a selfie? Or where is it appropriate to take a selfie?
I would say not by the coffin, honestly. Come on.
Right.
Well, that's why I asked.
The outpouring of grief has been immense, but not without controversy. Some in the crowd have been taking selfies with the Pope's body, sparking outrage.
Yeah, there's some folks upset about that. Lots of photos have been taken. Some are selfies, some are just photos because you go through this line, then you get into the room, if you will, of where the casket is, and you're seeing those start to pop up on social media, pictures of the casket or someone in front of the casket, some of them smiling, some of them showing their sadness.
I would suggest that if you must with a selfie, it's outside. I'm here at this thing, right? Put your phone away once you're inside. Right? Is that too much to ask?
That's about right.
Right. If you go, your friend's mom passes away and you go by there, you stand in line at the visitation, are you popping a selfie there? Not that would be something you'd brag about, but my point being is no, you would feel that's disrespectful, would you not?
It just, and I'm not defending any of it, just to be clear. But we do live in a different world now, and there is a generation, I don't want to even say a generation, there is a large faction of the population, regardless of age, that have found the need and desire to not only post selfies of themselves in front of different areas, but also just post pictures in general of them anywhere. Here I am waiting to pick up my kid at school. Here I am at a funeral. Here I am doing this. Here I am doing that.
Classy is classy, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, not defending it, but I do think we are moving into a different world, my friends, where this type of thing is becoming more and more just normalized.
Well, and the Vatican earlier this week was talking about how they've attempted to balance this desire for openness as folks want to pay their respects and mourn the Pope, but also like there are old traditions here that are more than a minute that we've done things in this particular way, and there's a certain decorum that is expected. If that's not okay for you, then watch on TV or stand out in the public square. If you're gonna do that, I would suggest it's entirely okay for them to demand a certain level of decorum, which means put your phone away, at least in that moment.
They are asking people now. They are saying, like, hey, put the selfie sticks down, please. Like when you're going in there now, they're just like, hey, can you do us a favor here? So they are those streaming through, but obviously still lots of pictures have already been taken.
8:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel. Let's go mow.
Public service, courage, bravery, sacrifice. These are terms used to describe those who work in public safety who go above and beyond each and every day of their lives. If you have a police officer, dispatcher, fire professional, or an emergency nurse who impacted your life, in May we'll honor the best examples of paying it forward, sharing the tremendous stories of these local heroes. Nominate your local hero at WTMJ.com. Click on the Salute to Service banner at the top, or by texting SALUTE to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella windows and doors different.
Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting. Brewers and Cardinals with a 7:15 first pitch tonight. Nice to be back in the Central Time Zone. We are in St. Louis. Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger, live with us this morning. Good to talk to you, Rick.
Thanks for having me on, Vinny.
Man, glad to be out of the West Coast. I don't know if it was the time difference or the balls bounce a little bit odd. There was some conversation about how things were bouncing in the infield, but just not Brewers baseball, a couple of those games with some of the defensive sloppiness.
Yeah, no, it wasn't quite what we wanted to do there. Giants are a good team, but, you can't give them extra outs on defense. You can't run into extra outs, on offense and expect to do very well. So I think Murph will have these guys focused. And, the thing about baseball is you don't have time to sort of relax and think about things. You've got a game the next day. So 3 big games in St. Louis, then the White Sox, then we home against the Cubs.
I thought that was pretty neat, actually. It shows to the leadership of Murph, and we just adore him here. But he held a closed-door session after the game yesterday and just kind of said, hey, some of it was discipline, but some of it was love. So it's kind of neat that he's showing that leadership of like, okay, this isn't our standard. Let's shut the door. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I think one of the jobs of the manager is to, hold the guys accountable. And I think we have a lot of players who I call self-accountable. They understand to make a mistake and they want to learn from it and not do it again. And I think it's Murph just saying, hey, let's it's still early in the season, but every game's meaningful. The game you win or lose in April could be the game that determines the NL Central or determines if you get in the postseason. So you got to treat every game with the respect it deserves. And Murph's not going to let things get out of hand, and I expect some really crisp defense and some really good play coming up.
Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger, live with us this morning on Brewers 360. As you mentioned, Rick, Brewers are not back home here until we face the Cubs for the first time at American Family Field this season. That series opens a week from today. Given that it's the Cubs, is the First Friday's 50% off tickets promotion still available?
Yeah,
nice.
People ask a lot about that. Yeah, so we decided, it's going to be the first Friday of every month, and even if it happened to be the Cubs, we're still doing it. So it's a good thing because we want Brewers fans, people from Wisconsin, to be at the games, and push the Cubs fans to let them watch on television. So it's a great opportunity for people to come on Friday. Tickets are selling very, very well. I expect all 3 games to be sold out. So they're going briskly, and again, we want the Brewers fans to buy the tickets and then use them and not resell them.
I meant to tell my kids about this, too, the $10 student special for games that are Monday through Friday, particularly as school starts to let out after this month.
Yeah, no, we are always trying to encourage, kids and youth to come to the games. One thing we learn is the sooner a young person or a student comes to the game, the more likely they'll come to another and become a longtime fan. So, there's no barrier to price at that ticket price. So we're very popular with those tickets and want kids to come and students to come for sure.
So, Rick, Vince was all fired up the other day that you guys delivered some hot dogs as part of your hot dog club promotion, and he wasn't able to partake, but we hear the promotion is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great. For $59.99, every time you come to a game, you obviously need a game ticket, but every time you come, you get a hot dog for free. So if you're coming to 60 games, you get 60 hot dogs for $59.99. I think if you do the math, you're well ahead. So it's kind of fun. And people talk about the brats at the ballpark, and they're great brats, but people love the hot dogs too. So we decided to give hot dog a little bit of love, and it's kind of a fun little promotion for us.
Hey, what club I'm interested in is I want the unlimited hot dog club. So we'll name your price, Rick, but I get to come up there as many times as I want. Another one. Line it up.
Put them out of business.
I've got to make some money. I can't
Name your price.
So it's an interesting idea, but I don't know if I've got the price.
Okay, yeah,
point
run
for
it by everybody over there. Tell them Vinny came up with that one. One more thing I did want to ask you about before we let you go, because kind of a cool deal for fans who watch the games on TV. There's this free trial that FanDuel is offering for its sports streaming network.
Yeah, so a 30-day free trial. The last time to register is April 30, so we only got 5 days left. But it's a great opportunity for fans who are not necessarily subscribing to cable or satellite, for them to stream Brewers games. Once you do it, you're going to get hooked. It's a very affordable thing. After the 30-day free trial, it's $19.99 a month. There's a season-long subscription, but it's a great product, and it's fun to watch the games on a device. So you basically get Brewers everywhere, anywhere, any place you want to be.
How do you go about that?
You go online at FanDuel or Brewers.com. There's instructions, and there's a code. Brewers30 will be the code, and you go to best place is FanDuel's website, which is FanDuel.com.
Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger live with us this morning. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you were waiting for it. Before we let you go here on Talking Brewers, I did want to remind our WTMJ listeners you're invited to WTMJ Day with us. And we've got this private tailgate that's set for the Brewers game on Saturday, May 17th. We play the Twins that day, and included in your package, food and drinks, and a bunch of us going to be there at the WTMJ tailgate. Tickets to the game as well. Brewers and Twins at American Family Field. You're invited. Here's how you do it. WTMJday.com, WTMJday.com for that ticket and drink and tailgate package. WTMJ Day at the Brewers game, May 17th. It's sponsored by Woodman's. One more time before 9 o'clock on the roads. Debbie.
All right. No more issues as far as incidents are concerned. We do have some delays from North Avenue on northbound 43 all the way up to Keith, and northbound 41 as usual, just before Mayfair Road, pretty much taking you all the way up past Burleigh. Everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars? Each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. I mean, there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8:55. You know, we've been telling you about how Luigi Mangione is going to be back in court in New York today. Well, there's another guy who's also going to be in court in New York.
Happening today.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I mean, I'm just going to go defend myself.
I made a mistake, and I think humans are flawed, and we all make mistakes. I think we can all look at ourselves in the mirror and admit that once in our life we made a mistake.
Yeah, well, the problem is it was not a mistake.
Disgraced former Congressman George Santos. Remember this guy?
Yes.
Who couldn't say truth to save his life? He's set to be sentenced in a New York federal court today after pleading guilty to a series of fraudulent schemes. He was convicted of wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. He faces multiple years in prison. Prosecutors want him in prison for 7. He's asking for less than that. So what's the deal here? What's going to happen? Well, part of the issue is that when he's in court, when there aren't cameras around, he's like, I'm really sorry, Your Honor. Oh, you know what? This is my fault and I should have been better. But then when he's outside with cameras, he says a different tune. And that's what they're confused by.
It's very much in this situation that Santos has turned out to be his own worst enemy. Even though he pled guilty, which ordinarily would lead to a defendant saying, I accepted responsibility, he followed that guilty plea with basically a tirade against the Department of Justice, disparaging everyone involved, even calling them a cabal of pedophiles.
Yeah, you can't really say that's Lori Levinson with Loyola Law School.
That's a tough one to look past if you're a judge.
And that's what the prosecutors are fired up about.
Who really is George Santos as he shows up for sentencing? He's a person who, on one hand, claims that he has accepted full responsibility, but at the same time is claiming that he's a scapegoat. And the court will want to send a clear message that George Santos is responsible for his actions.
So today is the day. Is it 7 years? Is it less? We will find out.
I have no clue of what you guys are talking about.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Medical College of Wisconsin seeks a cancer center designation for its Center for Cancer Discovery. Such a designation for the nearly completed $153 million facility would open more federal funding opportunities for the medical college. A 25-foot, 1-ton troll sculpture debuts in Wauwatosa's new Firefly Grove Park on May 28th. The city commissioned Danish artist Thomas Dambo to create the sculpture, which will be assembled at the park through the month of May using recycled materials from local sources. Milwaukee-based Goodland Extracts plans to grow distribution nationally of its line of THC-infused sodas to 16 states by the end of 2025. Its Cherry Pie High Soda was judged Best in Show in the recent High Spirits competition. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ. Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Thinking about curb appeal? A few changes can make a huge difference in your yard. I got the difference maker for you. Landworks Wisconsin. They specialize in bringing your landscaping dreams to life. They did that in our yard. From refreshing your existing gardens to creating entirely new outdoor environments, they did both those things for us. Think gorgeous new plantings, inviting pathways, expertly designed spaces to relax and entertain. Don't wait. Call Landworks or visit landworkswisconsin.com. Let's make your yard the envy of the neighborhood.
When the first followers of Jesus were hiding in fear, afraid for their lives, trying to shut out a big bad world, Jesus, crucified and risen from the dead, passed through those doors. It couldn't be us versus them anymore, because Jesus is for everyone, even if everyone is not yet for Jesus.
Dr. Michael Ziegler, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The Bucks are taking the playoffs back home.
My mindset right now is game 3. I know what I got to do.
To turn things around against the Pacers.
Giannis the other way. Gallops down the lane and plunges it through with a right-hand jam. There was nothing in between him and the rim.
Our Game 3 coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot-Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Just after 9 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, April 25th, our top story, Green Bay and Golden in Titletown.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A deadly home invasion in Milwaukee.
Storm team forecast for today, 50 degrees at the lake, 55 degrees your inland high, with showers likely. Decreasing clouds tonight and a breezy low of 39. Right now at 45. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center in Green Bay.
Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Day 2 of the NFL Draft kicks off in earnest at noon today when they open the gates to the NFL Draft Experience. The second and third rounds kick off at 7 p.m. tonight. Draft starting Thursday night from Lambeau Field. A little bit of history for the Packers as President and CEO Mark Murphy announced our first-round pick.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Golden, the first of 8 picks that the Packers will make throughout this draft.
Lots of people showed up for day 1. Attendance reaching levels that required some crowd control.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell started Thursday's festivities by mentioning the growing crowd size.
People said that Green Bay was too small, but we have over 125,000 people here and still counting.
That number eventually would balloon to 205,000 fans, according to the NFL. So many people filled the stage area, entrance had to be halted Thursday evening while overflow seating was set up in the bowl of Lambeau Field. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
With all of those people there are all different kinds of people there.
Green Bay Packers! Green Bay Packers!
That's the ladies with the green and golden girls who are stopped every few steps to take pictures with Packers fans. Nearby, I met the official Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders who say it's surreal to be this excited to enjoy Green Bay.
To see Titletown, I've always heard amazing things about Lambeau Field, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's very different.
A time for those showing up for their teams to become fans of our state and come back again. In Green Bay, Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
A deadly home invasion early this morning just north of downtown Milwaukee. This was near 8th and Galena. 70-year-old victim battered and killed inside a home. Now, police tell us this morning that they have a known suspect. However, that known suspect remains at large.
Luigi Mangione is set to be arraigned this afternoon on federal charges in the failed shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. ABC News chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is outside court.
Mangione allegedly stalked and then shot and killed United Healthcare chief Brian Thompson outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown. And overnight, prosecutors told the court Mangione deserves the death penalty because he sought to provoke broad-based resistance to the entire insurance industry. Police said they found words associated with insurance claims on some of the shell casings: deny, delay, depose.
Mangione also facing New York State charges.
Today is Arbor Day.
Arbor Day Foundation CEO Dan Lamb says he hears it all the time.
People want to do something positive for the environment, but they scratch their heads sometimes wondering what they can do.
He says they can plant trees, which help us so much.
Clean our air, clean our water. They shade our homes, shade our neighborhood, helping to capture and slow stormwater runoff and flooding.
Lamb says most holidays celebrate the past. Arbor Day is about the future.
It's about planting trees today that will benefit generations and generations to come.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A little more than 35 minutes after the opening bell on Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down just over 200 points, back below 40,000 at 39,889. The S&P 500 down as well, just 9 points to 5476. And the NASDAQ is up 11 points to 17,177. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:06.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 2-liter bottle selected varieties Super Chill Soda, 2 for $3. 4-count double roll selected varieties Bounty Towels, $7.99. 6-pack 0.5-liter bottle selected varieties Splash Blast Water, 2 for $6. 40 to 48-ounce selected varieties Starbucks Iced Coffee, $5.49.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they do it every day with compassion and with empathy. They've got locations throughout Southeast Wisconsin. I've been to the locations. I love how they treat the people who live there. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They offer early memory loss classes. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Kindness at the core. It's Azura Living. Check them out at azuraliving.com. It's Azura.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers have a new star, fit for the green and gold, wide receiver Matthew Golden.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
Golden, the first wide receiver that the Green Bay Packers have made in that first round since 2002.
You're the first player ever to address the crowd
Maybe
during a draft. Amazing.
Right? Golden caught 58 passes for nearly 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns last season for the Texas Longhorns. Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft tonight in Green Bay. Don't sleep on this one. The Bucks return to Fiserv Forum tonight. Of course, down 0-2 to the Pacers. Coverage begins with Bucks shoot-around at 6 p.m. on WTMJ. The Brewers head to St. Louis for a 3-game series with the Cardinals. That game from Busch Stadium will be on 94.5 ESPN.
WTMJ time saver traffic looking good. 94 eastbound Highway 16 through the zoo and into downtown. You're looking good all the way in, so no issues there. You're going to see some typical delays because of the road work on 4145 northbound just north of the zoo and on 43 northbound just north of the Marquette.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, showers likely today. If you are headed up to Green Bay, it looks like the Fox Valley just north of Appleton is about to get in on some of this, and that might be around for a little bit. High of 50 at the lake around here, 55 inland. Decreasing clouds tonight, breezy low 39. A few clouds on Saturday, then mostly sunny skies, high of 57 degrees. 7 degrees cooler if you're by the lake shore. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 56. Lakeside, 63 inland. For Monday, chance of showers and storms, partly sunny and warm with a high of 72 degrees at the lake, nearly 80 inland. And for Tuesday, watching some scattered showers and storms with a high of 70 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, 46, and in Milwaukee, 45 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
9:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News. As I referenced, the gates to the NFL draft zone, or experience as they call it, in Green Bay open in less than 3 hours now. They don't start picking again until 7 o'clock tonight. Will the big crowd scare people off?
Look at all of these people expecting a quarter of a million over the weekend here in Green Bay.
Or will it only get bigger? That was NFL Network as those first crowd shots became apparent to the whole nation.
Yeah, that was cool.
Tuning in to see the NFL draft in Green Bay. Official number from the NFL, 205,000 in attendance. Among them, WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, who is with us live now from Green Bay. Hi, Steven.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We're good. A little bit to talk about in terms of the capacity. You heard NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell open the moment, come out on stage and say, they said Green Bay was too small. Well, I got to tell you this. Well, for a little bit, it was maybe a little bit too small. Some folks didn't get in.
Yeah, it was a little tight there. I want to say about 5:36, 6:15. It got hard to move. I was in and around the entire stadium, seeing all the different venues. But it got tight, and then I heard, I was getting the NFL One Pass updates. They were shutting down the gates for a while. I like the fact that they overflowed into the bowl. I think that was a smart call. But I think overall, they managed a huge crowd. I mean, this city only has, 100 and some thousand people, 105,000. There was 205,000, whatever the NFL said. That's pretty impressive for an event like this.
How was the crowd? Was it like an awesome atmosphere, happy atmosphere, mostly Packers fans?
Yeah, overwhelmingly Packers fans. And I've been to the other draft I went to was in Vegas, which is very obviously representative of all the teams. This wasn't like that. Very pro Green Bay. A lot of, the NFC North teams, I would say, of the Bears, Vikings, and Lions, probably Vikings the most. Well, maybe Bears close third. But the crowd was great. They're having fun. There was numerous places to go eat and drink, lots of vendors. It was just a great presentation. I think one of the things people forget about these drafts and these draft presentations, this is an NFL experience. You're hosting the event, but it's put on by the NFL, and they're really good at this stuff, and they did a tremendous job last night.
For fans who are going to go up, Steve, and questioning whether or not they really want to stand there, and some might just go up and experience it, and if you want to stand there and watch these picks come down, what happens in between? When Roger Goodell is at the thing, you announce the pick, and then there's I guess tonight is it 10 minutes or fewer than that. But either way, the in-between, what's going on there? Because all the networks then break away and they show you
analysis.
Yeah, analysis and plays of this draft pick blowing up some other guy, whatever. But what goes on there for the crowd to see?
Yeah, they have the onstage hosts, which I'm not that versed on who these people are. There was 2 women hosting last night. They did a great job. Also, they have a house band, which is amazing, that they play throughout all the sort of the dead periods between the picks. So you're always entertained. There's sometimes they blow up some fireworks and stuff. There's plenty to do. You're having conversations with fellow fans. There's no boredom when you're actually at Lambeau Field.
Now, there were some different tents and things that you can look at. Like they had that dive bar tent that was available. I think you could go see the Lombardi trophies. Were you able to get to any of those other quote unquote exhibits?
Yeah, I went to everything. Went to the dive bar. Went to all the different displays. You can go see the Super Bowl rings. You can go see the Lombardi trophies, which are the big ones always sitting up there. It's just fun stuff. And I talked to a ton of people from different places. They were just in love with that experience to be able to, actually, because you could just literally walk up the steps from the south entrance and enter Lambeau Field because you already gone through security, and you could experience what all the fans get to experience every home game, which is incredible. You can walk into the bowl, you can move around, you can see all the stuff, you can see the history, you can see the names on the Ring of Honor, all the Hall of Fame Packers from the past. It's just a great experience. And to a person, out-of-towners that I talked to from all over the country, including some people from the UK, absolutely enjoying themselves. It was a cooler night, but it wasn't raining. It was really comfortable. I just had a light sweater on. It was perfect.
want to ask you about the reaction there from all of our fans about that first pick in a moment, but I did get a text, and I don't know that you're in a position to address this because you know the area and everybody sort of has their way when you get around, but a friend texted me this morning, but for real, where do we park? Is it $150 for a front lawn? Still deciding what to do for tonight.
Yeah, it's expensive. It'll probably be a little less expensive tonight because obviously day 2 is not day 1. Here's what I did. I'm staying in a private residence. I actually Ubered from the residence, which is 5.2 miles from the residence to Lambeau. Uber ride, $21 to Lambeau, $18 back. And it wasn't hard to get somebody. And I got probably within 3 blocks of Lambeau and just walked the rest of the way in. It was easy. That's my recommendation. Find a place where you can park your car legally and safely and all that. And maybe it's one of these outlots. I don't know. But parking close is going to cost you double or triple what you would pay during a regular season game.
Erik did hear from one of his buddies, though. Your buddy said he was willing to pay it, but then got out. Right?
Yeah, he was in and out actually really easily. He said they left after the Packers pick and was in their car, and it was easy, just like going to a game, he said.
Yeah, a lot of people stuck around after the Packers pick, but a lot of people did leave then. I thought it was well managed. The traffic was moving. I actually had a great Uber experience. I walked probably 6 blocks from Lambeau at the end of the first round, and first time ever, requested an Uber. My Uber driver was within 5 feet of me. I could have touched his car. He goes, "That's never happened before." He yelled my name, and I yelled his. It was the weirdest thing ever. That's how easy it was.
Talking with WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, who was there amongst the fans for that first-round pick. Let's play that moment here, Steve, and then we'll get some reaction.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
My question, Steve, is had Mark Murphy said our first-round pick is offensive tackle from XYZ school, it would not have had the same feel to it.
No, I think you know the answer. It's absolutely not. That was incredible. I mean, it's one of the greatest moments I've ever experienced at Lambeau. That is absolutely nuts. And they were waiting to hear that. Now, we all remember what that pick was all those years ago. I think it was Javon Walker, right?
Yeah, correct.
Let's hope this golden pick, Matthew Golden, works out a lot better than Javon Walker did. But I love the energy. I love the crowd last night. And that was sort of a celebration of the waiting, right? So I talked to people that were there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, I didn't look at my watch when that pick went down. But they had spent a lot of time sort of walking around, getting ready for that. And Mark Murphy, to his credit, because he's a big part of the architect of all of this to make this happen, which a lot of us thought it would never happen. He did exactly the right thing. He said the right things, and he launched it in the perfect trajectory to just blow up. And it was a moment for the people who went to the draft. And even though those on TV will always remember.
There's Golden coming out. I don't know what surprised me more, the fireworks, the intensity of the people screaming, or the fact, Steve, that Golden actually took the microphone.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's once-in-a-lifetime type of stuff right there.
That's a dream scenario for a draft pick for your team. He takes the mic. He addresses the crowd. A lot of times, some of these guys don't show up, or some of these guys are doing their own thing. He showed up. I heard later from somebody else. I can't verify if it's true, that not only is he moving here, but his family's moving to Green Bay. It's like, wow, that's a cool story.
Hey, one moment that bugged me, and there's definitely different opinions on it. I don't know if I couldn't tell if Tausch came around to my line of thinking.
He understood your line of thinking.
All right. I didn't like the Clay Matthews moment. I didn't like it for 2 reasons. One, he gets up there and made people nervous that he was going to go political by coming out in our very first moments of our introduction to the country here for this big event. Says, I have a message from President Trump. I just talked to him. And you could almost feel this uneasiness. Now, in fairness, there were a ton of cheers, but also I know it was like, man, are you going to go political on this? Well, that turned out to not be the case, but this is what he did say. He said he had a message from the president.
It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
And Steve, my point was there is plenty of room for that statement in and around Lambeau Field and at all times from we Packers fans. I'm fine with it. I just thought in that moment, like, come on, man, why are we even mentioning Chicago? Let's just own this as ours in Green Bay.
Yeah, I sort of the same reaction. I would gauge the reaction from the crowd, at least where I was, which is just at the bottom of the south entrance steps, as mixed. A few isolated boos, but most people, once he said the Bears still suck, the place went nuts.
Nah.
So, I mean, that was the messaging that you were probably going to see the biggest reaction from. The Trump thing, I don't know that it fazed anybody.
Any famous people?
Well, every broadcaster that I've ever seen on TV and through all the networks. Who else did I see? I ran into a lot of people I knew from just Milwaukee that you wouldn't know, but I knew.
Mr. Beard.
It was just. I got some of that, yeah. Some local restaurateurs and stuff. It was a great event. I'm looking forward to being there. I'm broadcasting with local ESPN 94.5 tonight for 4 hours. I'm looking forward to that because day 2 is even more interesting because you have more players and you get to hash out all that stuff. But this is a great event, and the cool thing is you can just come up and go to it. Obviously, there's some logistical questions you got to figure out, like where you're going to park and how you're going to get in and stuff. But if you ever want to see a draft in Green Bay in your lifetime, well, here's your moment. You got a couple days to do that.
WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Appreciate it, Steve. I know you got to run because Point Taken is coming your way in just about 40 minutes here on WTMJ. Thanks, my friend.
See you guys.
See you, bud.
9:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
We didn't write the headline, the Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
70 years ago, the Blaine brothers founded Blaine's Farm and Fleet as one of the nation's first retail stores to sell goods at a discount. And we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like select Gordon's lawn treatments, $5 off, 10% off thoroughbred welding gas and cylinders, 15% off all mud flaps and rock tamer systems. Plus, we've lowered prices store-wide, so you can find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Don't forget Drone Show tonight, too.
That's
if
right.
you need it.
Yeah, that won't be amazing.
You asked an important question, though. Where are they staging those drones?
Yeah, because
they have to land somewhere.
Yeah,
they have to take off from somewhere.
Take off, and the batteries on those things don't last forever, so
right. They need to be close.
Somewhere near the place.
And land is at a premium. As we've seen, like every inch is taken up. So they thought of that, right?
Oh, I'm sure they've discussed this.
Somebody's not like, actually, where are we going to put these start? I'm not sure. Want to talk about a couple of people who find themselves here in the midst of this NFL draft being a bit clownish. And one of them is our guy, actually. Have you seen some of the ridiculous social media posts? They're inexplicable to me from Governor Tony Evers.
Oh, my God.
The governor was at the draft on Thursday. Now, he did talk with WTMJ's John Mercure.
What do you think of the draft? This is a great event for Wisconsin and Green Bay. Lots of people here. Lots of people happy, having fun, and so it's good for Wisconsin, money-wise, but it's really good for Green Bay.
Credit the governor and the state for doing what they needed to do in terms of providing funding for some of the infrastructure that went into planning this event. So that is serious, but a little bit more on the governor's silliness in a moment. First, I want to crack on this guy. Before this even started, before the draft even began, we're taking fire from Detroit, which of course hosted the NFL draft last year. Reportedly a record 750,000 fans attended over 3 days in Detroit. It's 500,000 more than projected for Green Bay. Although, given that we packed 200 plus in there yesterday, could you go 246?
Easy.
Right?
Of course you can.
Saturday, I don't think will be quite as well attended, but regardless, we're doing just fine. Well, the president of the Detroit Lions is already campaigning for a return engagement there.
Well, I've mentioned to Roger, how could you ever do better than this? I mean, I think it's probably going to be a few years from now. A lot of cities are bidding on it. Green Bay has it this weekend. Pittsburgh has it next year.
President of the Detroit Lions, he was speaking at this economic forum with the Detroit sportscaster Brad Golly asking the questions, and Rod Wood can't even give us our turn.
And I told you off stage, there's no way Green Bay will come close.
In fact,
they'll finish second, or as I said to Brad off stage, third, like they did last year.
Ooh.
Hey-o.
Oh, hey-o.
Hey-o. Hey-o.
And this bothers you.
Well, because it was like a day or two. Granted, he was asked the question about the thing, but, give yourself a minute. It's not going to be, it's going to be more than a few years before it returns to Detroit. Everybody else is putting bids in. Everybody else.
Sure.
If you can pull it off in Green Bay, you can pull it off anywhere,
right, yeah.
and we're pulling it off. And here's my other take as he's cracking on Green Bay for finishing third in the division last year. Hey, Rod, if you would lower yourself to come visit us in meek little Green Bay here in your free time over the weekend, you could stop by the Packers Hall of Fame, where we have our 4 Vince Lombardi Super Bowl trophies on display, just in case you want to know what one of those looks like. Detroit?
You know what I would say, though, is...
Would you say...
Hey-o.
Hey-o. He's not wrong, though. Like, we were
They're
too
gonna
small,
have more
and
than
they
us.
are going to have more. But
okay.
And the fact
Congrats.
that if you're bringing in 600 plus after this weekend, I think the Packers would be happy with that.
Entirely. And for the most part, but for that hiccup where they did reach capacity. And again, as much as folks who made that trip might have been disappointed in that moment that you didn't get in, and you heard Steve mention too, at some point then they started opening the bowl of Lambeau Field so they could bring more guests in.
Yeah.
There's no scandal here. It's free. So no one was denied entry who paid, whatever.
Right.
No one was promised anything, and they found a way to manage it. And I think they will continue to do that. If you want to make sure that you're up somewhere close to the stage, you're going to have to get there early because of the massive size of the event. I agree with that. And yes, I don't dispute the numbers in Detroit. I don't know that we could have done that. I don't know that we would have wanted to. Where would we put anybody else? Like, did that not appear big enough to you?
And I was going to say, and the best part is, even businesses outside of the footprint clearly benefited.
So now to our guy for a second.
I am jazzed as hell.
So the governor, I'm all for silly social media, especially when it's done well.
Right.
Even if it makes you look silly or somebody else, that's fine. We certainly do our share of that. But these posts on X, the videos, fell short of being so bad they're campy, and instead are just cringy.
Go on, Tony.
In this cleverly produced video, our governor is in a Packers polo trotting around throwing himself a pass, instructs himself to go long, and then receives the pass as the camera changes angles, and then awkwardly spikes the football. And then it dissolves into this fancy graphic. The other one is the governor at the podium as if he's announcing a draft pick.
Wisconsin's #1 draft pick in 2025 is...
And now he unveils a Packers jersey that says kid on the back.
That's right, because...
this is the year of the kid.
Yeah.
Tonight, I'm declaring 2025 the year of the kid in Wisconsin.
Evers, of course, in that State of the State address. Well, you posted it. So guess what, Erik? There were some comments.
Yeah, a couple.
On the Twitter machine, or X as it were today. Comments range from the profane and ugly, which I don't support. I mean, Some of them are like unreadable, and they're not funny. They're just mean and stupid, and that's not cool. But some are creatively critical. You want a few?
Yes, please.
I don't know who told you to do this, but you need to fire them. Oof, that was hard to watch. Hope everybody's okay. You throw like you've never thrown before. Delete this post. Greetings, my fellow sports ballers.
Very good.
Wow, Governor Evers runs a mean pick six. CC, Governor Tim Walz. He's a football coach.
Yep.
Who told you this was a good idea? You should have to resign for this. There's still time to delete this. I feel bad for Wisconsin now. I'm shocked that you left the comments open for this. And my favorite.
Why did you leave the comments open?
I'll run your social media for $75K a year. I don't even like you, but I would be way better than whoever did this. Wisconsin's Morning News.
Tonight, I'm declaring 2025 the year of the kid in Wisconsin.
Hey-o.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
I've got a fantastic trip that I'm planning right now. I'd love for you to be with us. It's America's Music Cities for the holidays. It's early December. It's an 8-day tour of some great spots. New Orleans, Memphis, and Nashville. Check out New Orleans, the vibrant French Quarter, all decked out for the holidays. Then we're on to the amazing city of Memphis, Elvis Presley's Graceland. It is going to look absolutely fantastic. On to Nashville, we make chocolate, take a horse-drawn carriage ride, and we stay at the magical Opryland Resort. It's with Colette, the travel company I trust. We'll handle all the details for you, flights, meals, hotels, local experiences. I'm going to be there. I want you to be with us. Send me an email. I send you the information. John@WTMJ.com. John@WTMJ.com. Space is limited. We'll discover America's musical legacy wrapped in dazzling lights and seasonal decor. Let me get you the info. I'd love for you to be with us. John, John, at WTMJ.com. It's America's Music Cities with Colette, the travel company I trust.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
9:33, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Friday, April 25th. Our top story, Green Bay's new golden boy.
I'm Erik Bilstad, back to class for this MPS school.
Packers have selected its first wide receiver as a first-round pick since 2002. Matthew Golden of Texas says he's more than ready to take on the challenges that lie ahead.
Being reliable, man, in critical situations, I always showed up. When our back was against the wall, they could count on me to come out with a big play, and that's something I kept doing continuously. And, coming here, that's definitely the same mindset I'm bringing, to make big plays and come out here and win games,
Golden says he looks forward to working in Green Bay, was impressed by the large crowd that welcomed him at the draft Thursday night. Rounds 2 and 3 begin at 7 o'clock tonight in Green Bay.
Following breaking news from overnight, a deadly home invasion just north of downtown Milwaukee. This is inside a home near 8th and Galena. A 7-year-old victim battered and killed. Police tell us a known suspect remains at large.
Milwaukee Public Schools set to reopen today, one of those closed for lead remediation. It's been weeks. Fernwood Montessori set to reopen today. Milwaukee Health Department approved the school safety standards earlier in the week. Fernwood, along with Starnes Early Childhood Center and La Follette School, have been closed 4 weeks due to elevated amounts of lead dust.
Another international student from UW-Madison has been granted a temporary stay after having her student visa revoked. Yu Yang, 21 years old, she's from China. She is suing the Department of Homeland Security over losing her student visa. It was revoked over a speeding ticket in which she pled no contest. She's suing because she was not given the right to due process. Her hearing is May 14th, which is just a couple of days after she was supposed to graduate.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average down just over 300 points to 39,789. S&P 500 at 5470. That is down 15 points. The NASDAQ is up 7 to 17,173. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:35.
Your Storm Team forecast for today. Let's do the traffic first.
As for your roads, 94 eastbound, Highway 16 through the zoo and into downtown. Right now you're looking good all the way into the city, so that's nice. Should be about a 17-minute ride. Seen a little bit of typical delay at the moment with the road work. 41, 45 northbound, just north of the zoo. You'll be on the brakes, but you'll get through it just fine. Same with 43 northbound, just north of the Marquette.
I got your weather through the weekend here. Showers likely today. High of 50 degrees at the lake, 55 inland. Tonight's low down to 39. Few clouds, then mostly sunny on Saturday. 57 degrees your high temp. A little bit cooler by the lake. Sunday looks real nice, partly cloudy, high 56 lakeside, 63 degrees inland. Looks like Monday we could be pushing 80 away from Lake Michigan. Right now in Milwaukee, 46 degrees.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
You are the cream to fill my cream bottle.
I hope they like each other.
Boat race. The sun and the moon and the earth have become one, and so have we.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more for your fish fry. The Mine Chef fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. You deserve it. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked aside from the dining area while you finish up, maybe have an after-dinner drink. I repeat, hard to believe, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. The Mine Chef in beautiful downtown Hartford. And near the EAA in Oshkosh, tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. I love that fish fry. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineChefRestaurant.com.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Premium injection foam, filling your walls and saving you money from day one. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation do a full energy audit on your home or business to see where you're losing money. Then they help you score rebates and discounts that can cut the cost of your project in half. Then they get you 0% interest on financing for up to 72 months. It's a home improvement project that actually saves you money. Tell Jeff Vinny sent you to usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
9:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So we have the International Bobblehead Hall of Fame here in Milwaukee,
yes.
right? Or the national, I don't know, national, international.
Mm-hmm.
It's global. And almost every week, that might be too many, but not seldom do we find out there's a new bobblehead that's going to be
They crank them out quite often. Very topical stuff, too.
So oftentimes, when's the last time you heard us mention this? It's been a minute.
Right.
So it takes a lot for us to do it. But today is poignant because there's a news peg to it.
Well, so the Milwaukee boat. We've been telling you about Deep Thought, the boat that's been beached at the lakefront there between Bradford and McKinley since October. It's still there, by the way, and it will not be removed until next week. We talked with Jerry Geyer. He is leading the salvage effort. He's been doing this for 40 years, this type of work. This is the hardest situation they've ever dealt with.
Well, this is gonna be the number one. We hope we'd never have one worse than this.
It's number one.
Number one.
That's what he told us Thursday on Wisconsin's Morning News when we had him on, as he was staring at the boat, wondering what they were going to do.
Is in part why it's still there.
Yeah.
There was initially, when did that come out? Wednesday that the mayor said, we got this anonymous donor. The donor's going to pay for this. We got these guys out here. We might be done by 7 o'clock tonight. And then it was still there on Wednesday night, still there on Thursday. It's still there this morning. They're now kicking to Monday where they think they might make some progress in earnest.
Because it's full of sand. It's full of water. It's super heavy. They got to figure out if they can cut it, move it. I mean, you just can't hook something to it and drag it.
And they can't seem to access it by land.
Right.
So, they're trying to figure out how to get this thing out of there.
And real quick, he did mention to us just randomly that the Milwaukee Art Museum had inquired about it. Now, we did reach out to the Art Museum, and they told us, no, we did not inquire about obtaining scraps from the boat.
Still trying to figure out where that came from.
Makes you wonder, though. Someone must have inquired because we don't think Geyer just made that up. Maybe he was misinformed.
Was it the wrong museum or was it off? Like, well, I said to them,
somewhere.
Somebody talked to somebody and said, I want this boat. It's not the worst idea.
Anyway,
that leads us to the bobblehead released today. Deep Thought Milwaukee Abandoned Boat Bobble. The pre-sale is on. It's $35.
You want to see it?
And it's not bad.
You want to see it?
Yes.
You just text the word boat, B-O-A-T, to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. We good with that, Nate? Is that up and rocking, or we'll be here in a second? All right, he says he's putting it up right now, so if you don't get it back, we can send it to you. But send boat to WTMJ talk and text line, and you'll see what the bobblehead would look like. It's more of a bobble than a bobblehead, but either way, it will be immortalized forever.
The area has it in sort of water, and then it's got like a beach spot on it as well, and then all of the graffiti that's all over the boat. Where's the Gruber spot? Isn't there one that says one call, that's all?
Yeah, where's the profanity?
Somebody keeps tagging over that, and then somebody replaces it. There is a likeness of...
Where are the body parts?
A piece of the anatomy also
on
on the boat. Well, I've suggested that if you're going to do the art, that's art. Like, we've had more offensive art in our various museums.
Yeah, like the statue of David? Is that what you're suggesting?
No. Wasn't there a controversial Pope thing? The image of the Pope in condoms? If you can put that in the art museum, you can have a picture of something on the side of that boat.
Fair enough.
It is 9:42. What is it? Text BOAT, B-O-A-T, to 855-616-1620.
Hi, I'm Rose Gray with Fox World Travel, and I'm excited to share that our exclusive guided Alaska land and sea journeys are now available for 2026. We partner with Holland America Line to curate the best and most sought-after experiences to Alaska. We send hundreds of travelers from Wisconsin to Alaska every year, along with experienced Fox tour managers for peace of mind. Don't just picture Alaska, live it. We have limited spots, and these tours are booking fast. Visit Fox World Travel online or call 866 Go Fox Go.
What would your community be like without UW-Madison? The UW is one of the country's leading hubs for supporting life-changing research. UW-Madison helps make a healthier Wisconsin, build strong businesses, and win the war for workforce talent, not just in Madison, but across our entire state. Visit uwalumni.com/UW5 to tell your legislators to support UW-Madison in the Wisconsin state budget. That's uwalumni.com/UW5. Paid for by the Wisconsin Alumni Association.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I noticed I was missing out on things. I just wasn't hearing great. I knew I had to get it checked out. I had to get it fixed, and I found the right company. It's a company with a lot of compassion, the best technology. It's Vita Hearing Care. Hearing well isn't just about detecting sounds. It's embracing life's meaningful moments with confidence and joy. Vita is a local family-owned company, 2 locations in Mount Pleasant and Waterford. Visit VitaHearingCare.com to learn more. VitaHearingCare.com. They'll take care of you like they've taken care of me. It's Vita.
9:44, we have some breaking news just into the 620 WTMJ Breaking News Center. Adam Roberts joining us with them.
That's right, Vince. Just in minutes ago, Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan has been arrested at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. She is under federal investigation for allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers, or ICE, at the courthouse. Sources telling us just moments ago, the 9-year veteran of the bench now in custody, arrested at the courthouse. The FBI not commenting on the arrest at this time. This relates back to an incident on Friday, April 18th, when ICE attempted to arrest Eduardo Flores Ruiz, a Mexican citizen, at the courthouse after a hearing in Judge Dugan's courtroom. Sources say Dugan directed ICE agents to Chief Judge Carl Ashley's office. This is when sources say Dugan allowed the defendant to leave the courtroom through a side door into a public area down a hallway. Now, this is just breaking now. We'll have plenty more on this throughout the morning.
So Ruiz was in court for a different matter.
Correct. This was not an immigration-related incident. They were at the courthouse on a separate matter. ICE showed up. This was last Friday. And then that's when these incidents went down, according to sources.
She is alleged to have basically snuck him out. That she knew the ICE agents were there, found a way to get him out without passing by those agents, so they could not make what would otherwise be a lawful arrest. But it's controversial because we've had all this going on at the courthouse. So that is the update from Adam here in the Breaking News Center. It is 9:46 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Vince Vitrano here for Lifetime Door Company. And here's the thing. Maybe you don't need a new garage door. Maybe you just need to keep the door that you already have looking good and functioning well. That's certainly the case for me. I've got a beautiful new door from Lifetime, and I want it to stay that way. So I was talking with my friend Rick Burr over there at Lifetime, and he told me, really important here, you need to keep those moving parts and your spring lubricated. Now, Rick can send a crew out to do that anytime to take care of it for you. But if you're going to do it yourself, he recommended against taking any parts off. Leave that part to the experts, and you'll do fine with a silicone-based lubricant that you can apply yourself. Do it 4 times a year. And here's how easy we can make that for you. If you need a can, stop by the showroom at 124th and Burleigh and tell them Vinny sent you. They'll give you one for free. Lifetime Door Company, that's lifetimedoor.net.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt. 153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Gorilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now, when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt. New Berlin and Fox Point.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Enjoy the Fox and Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a green band 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's our guy. Packers' first-round draft pick, a wide receiver out of Texas, Matthew Golden. Bring in WTMJ's Greg Matzik. He's watching that all closely unfold. What time did we get to that pick? It was after 11, hey?
No, the draft went pretty fast, I thought, yesterday. This is before 10 o'clock. I must have read
11 Eastern. So it's probably, well, even that would still be.
This was before 10 o'clock. I was very surprised at how quickly round 1 went. Well, it's great, right? There's a pace to it, kind of a hump. You're not doing 15 minutes in between picks anymore, which is good. Teams seem to have their minds made up. Fewer trades in the first round, at least up until the Packers pick. So, yeah, it was humming along nice.
I always tend to like the first round pick, and that's because I'm a casual sports fan. I like my sports, whatever. I haven't heard of most of these guys. I don't follow it close enough. And the 7 highlights that they show of the guy you picked blowing everybody up look really good.
Always, right? Always.
That said, I am excited about this one.
Well, there are picks and there are sexy picks, right? This is a sexy pick. There's no doubt about that. You get a wide receiver in the first round, that's a glitz and glamour sort of pick. Not an offensive lineman, which would have been fine, I guess. But
Just
when you got a crowd of
it.
200,000 people there, right? I mean, they were feeling that energy, and there was an overflow crowd inside Lambeau Field. They had the energy as well. The fact that Mark Murphy got to deliver that pick, I thought was fantastic. And what a moment from Mark, just if you want to pull it all back here. You know, oftentimes Mark gets introduced and you might hear a spattering of boos from, the culture out in whatever crowd he's a part of. But I think there was a realization that if Dude isn't in place, we may not have the draft. We may not be doing this in Green Bay. And it looked like a zillion people were out there through the drone shots last night. It was incredible to watch.
It looked amazing, and honestly, like, it made you wonder, like, yeah, maybe Murph did tell him, hey, no, you can't trade that pick. They did ask Goody about it. They asked Brian Gutekunst about it afterward, about Mark making that announcement.
Well, I really said it in a different name, but Mark just announced what he announced, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I know people laugh that off, but do we know that's not the case?
I guess, right? Tausch asked
Certainly
that this morning. He's
possible.
like, are we sure that's not actually what happened? I mean, he does outrank Goody.
No doubt,
So he
right? In that
could
siloed
have.
structure they have,
Could
or
you
whatever the heck.
imagine? I think the suggestion, though, that Brian Gutekunst did, there's nothing that he's ever done that would suggest to us that he felt some sort of pressure to make that sexy pick or to not trade whatever. I think he was very clear that he was going to do what he thought was in the best interest of the organization. We talk all the time about best player available, best player available. That's how the draft board worked out, right?
I think so. I think, by all accounts, as I'm looking at the draft, I tweeted about this yesterday. I thought all the top receivers would be gone before the Packers selection, and I thought they would end up with a cornerback, which would have been fine as well,
Also
because they have some concerns there. They have concerns at wide receiver and in a variety of other positions, and the rest of the draft will possibly address those. But you can't overreach on need, right? That's where I think teams screw themselves up, because your needs in April might look very different in August. Right? So I think Goody sticks pretty true to his board. But if there is a tiebreaker, right, two dudes, you kind of lean toward the area you need that player. They've done that before. And I don't know if that was the case yesterday, but Matthew Golden, I'm going to be candid about it. I think he's better than any of the receivers taken ahead of him, except Travis Hunter, who may or may not play receiver in the NFL.
Oh, that's the guy who plays both sides of the ball, right?
Yeah, he may end up doing that in the NFL, too, which is crazy.
What do they got? There's 2 rounds tonight. Packers got a couple of picks tonight, and then the rest of the draft is tomorrow.
Yeah, essentially 1 pick in every round is kind of what they have. So you might see some moving around, but with 8 total picks, that's a pretty low number. It's the lowest number since 2019. Goody likes to have at-bats, if you want to use a baseball terminology, but he's also known to move around a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up with 10 picks total versus 8. And we'll see where the depth of the draft ends up landing.
Talking about WTMJ's Greg Matzik, who has his own show to prepare for here coming up in just a few hours. I did want to ask you about the golf. You and Gabe over on ESPN Wisconsin, Stephen Watson, are teaming up to raise money for the MAC Fund. You're doing the 100 Holes of Golf event again this year, which I've done an event like that. It's a blast, but it's also a super exhausting day.
Really hard. Yeah, no, really hard, but nowhere near as difficult as the journey is those who are dealing with cancer, right? So we always take that into consideration and stride. Here's what we're doing. We're playing 100 holes of golf next week, Thursday at the Bog. The Bog shuts down the course for us. 30 total players. Gabe, Steven, and I are kind of teaming up our fundraising efforts, and it's the 7th year of the Ringer event. And the name Ringer is very symbolic. A cancer patient's journey through cancer, it's symbolic of the end of that journey when they ring the bell. It's a very emotional time, and it symbolizes the end of the cancer journey. And that's where the name comes from. So 7 years of the event, they've raised over $1 million for the fight against cancer and associated blood disorders, which is unbelievable. And our fans and our listeners and our networks have contributed to that over the years. And our goal this year is to raise $20,000. And we're pretty close to the $10,000 mark. In fact, I think I looked this morning, we were just over $8,000. But if we get to 10, we do have a $10,000 match coming in from Paintings for Pediatrics, which is run by a guy named Craig Sorbo. This is incredible stuff. Painting for Pediatrics, if you've not heard of this, it's cancer patients' artwork, right? They're given a canvas, right? And just go, be yourself, right? And they've made books out of this, which you can buy on Amazon, Painting for Pediatrics. They have a great gala every year in which they auction off the artwork from cancer patients, these kids with cancer, and their artwork. It's a really interesting organization, very cool. Craig does incredible work. He has agreed to match. If we can get to that 10,000 mark, he'll chip in $10,000 from Paintings for Pediatrics.
So what can we do to help get you there?
Why don't you just tell us how we can help?
We're getting close, right? So if you text the word golf to 855-616-1620, text the word golf, and we'll get you all the details right back to your mobile device on how you can donate to our page. But also our friends at Palermo's have chimed in. They want a little piece of the action as well. So you could win free pizza for a year and a pizza oven, right? So if that's not, icing on the cake, it's a great cause. But who knows? You might get pizza for a year. If you can make a $25 donation or more, you get automatically entered into that world.
What's the number again?
It's 855-616-1620. Just text the word golf. We'll get you the link to the donation page. So we're about $2,000 away from getting to that point where we will achieve a match. And if people are able to help out, awesome. Looking forward to a great event.
Last question for you, because I don't want to be left with a Sophie's Choice of friends.
Yeah.
If I throw my money in there, does it go to you, or does it go to Gabe, or does it go to Steven, or are you guys really all pooled? So my contribution is to all.
It's to all.
Okay,
it is to
good.
all.
So no one's going to be offended.
No, not at all. You could even do $5 per birdie, right?
I want this specifically to go to Matzik and not Gabe.
You can put that in the description if you'd like. Yes, and I'll make sure that it gets organized that way.
Thank you, buddy, for doing it.
No, thank you guys very much.
9:57, point taken with WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. That is coming up next.
For the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Listen to this crowd. Oh, baby. Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas. And he's here.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Medical College of Wisconsin seeks a cancer center designation for its Center for Cancer Discovery. Such a designation for the nearly completed $153 million facility would open more federal funding opportunities for the medical college. A 25-foot, 1-ton troll sculpture debuts in Wauwatosa's new Firefly Grove Park on May 28th. The city commissioned Danish artist Thomas Dambo to create the sculpture, which will be assembled at the park through the month of May using recycled materials from local sources. Milwaukee-based Goodland Extracts plans to grow distribution nationally of its line of THC-infused sodas to 16 states by the end of 2025. Its Cherry Pie High Soda was judged Best in Show in the recent High Spirits competition. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic. You've heard me talking for weeks now. Opening soon in Oak Creek. Well, Dr. Alex just let us know they are ready to launch. In fact, there's going to be a ribbon cutting and grand opening ceremony for Connect Chiro's third location, and you're invited. It's Friday, May 9th at 3 o'clock there on the south side. Excited for this team. I've already met Dr. Noah. He's going to be the primary there at this location. bringing relief and better health to Southside families. Stop out at the event. It's Friday, May 9th. You can learn more. Get in on thousands of dollars worth of raffle prizes as well. Connect Chiropractic's location is going to be just east of Howell Avenue on Rawson in Oak Creek. Don't forget about Delafield or Wauwatosa if those are closer to you. Get started at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time